Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you good now. You sound great.
Really much better.
Yeah, I was trying to use a mic attached to my phone through a USB dongle, and I couldn't hear you guys, so whatever. I hate spaces.
They've got a lot of improvements they need to make, but they'll get there. So what's up, Marmar? How's it going, brother?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. I love to see this up. Is this your crew right here?
Yeah, these are my guest speakers for the Voyager side of things. It's Obi and Lucky.
Sweet. What's up, Obi and Lucky?
What's up? How you doing?
Good, good. How was y'all weekend?
Fun filled.
Nice. Yeah, no, this is a great space.
Didn't you guys both just return back to work today?
Oh yeah, back to corporate America. It was a great day to be alive. Let me tell you.
Living in Twitter land the last couple weeks, and then going back to your corporate jobs. I'm sure that's pretty rough.
Going from Spaces all 2 weeks to back to Teams was just a blast. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it gets rough. So, guys, we'll get started here right at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're about 13 minutes away, maybe slightly after that. I'm going to give as much time as we can to get people in here. We're still waiting on Russ to get up here. But once again, thank you guys so much for being here. If you can retweet out the space or use @InvestVoyager and tag, obviously, Saitama and VGX. And let's get this thing trending, y'all.
Yeah, Russ is right there down at the bottom, and yeah, I could drop down. Just let me know so I can get out the way.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and drop, you can. Or if you want to say what's up to Russ real quick, you can.
Yeah, I'll say what's up to Russ real quick.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I was trying to finish up a call real quick, but here I am. We're good. I made it.
Hey, what's up, Russ?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Can't wait to see what this space holds tonight. I'm excited. A lot of people are. So
yeah, awesome.
Love to see you in here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and drop down.
God. Okay, cool.
What's up, Russ? How's it going, bro?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not bad. Happy to be here. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime I get an opportunity to come out and speak to the community, our community, other people's community, and anyone else, really, it's something I enjoy doing. I'm just a crypto enthusiast. Aside from being, a developer in Saitama, I'm excited about crypto. It gets me excited, man. I could talk about it to random strangers for hours, man. It's just it's a fun space, I think, right? Crypto is just so exciting to be a part of, and be a part of something so new and exciting. It really reminds me of almost like the whole .com era, where.
All right, guys. I think that they're
kind of
let me mute this for
biased about it.
I think they're barely getting started. So it is going to start in a bit. I will be back here. So if you guys need any,
I think that's what people thought about.
If there's anything that needs to be done to the stream, let me know so that I can fix it.
A whole new digital front, a whole new era. It's like you get to take advantage of it. When I was, when the internet came out and that whole regime, I was too young to do anything about it financially except for watch it pass me by and the opportunities. But now, as obviously an adult with the capabilities and the means and resources to do something about it, it's more exciting. Like, oh, not missing this boat.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you. It's so exciting. It's something new every day. There's so much innovation in the space. I mean, we're really going to challenge everything that's currently is. I mean, it's when you look at every industry that potentially could be affected by crypto and digital assets. It's
to be a part of.
You take your pick.
New and absolutely. It's exciting. Just on the different levels that
right, guys, I think that
crypto can play a major role.
I think they're barely
it's not just about investing. It's not about
so it is going to start in a bit.
creating a digital asset or digital tangible token or the gaming and the metaverse and all that. It's just so much more that you can do. And I spend a majority of my time with communicating with companies and different individuals and countries and ambassadors and thinking about how can we now take cryptocurrency and make what you're doing better, more streamlined. And it's not about size or wealth. It's anything. I don't care if you run a daycare, or you're, the chairman of some huge corporation or a small country. There's so many ways that crypto can just make things better. It's about just finding that niche and being able to create it. Gives me a lot of, hope for the future, because you can do anything you want to do with it. There's no actual caveats in place that tell you can't. There's no stipulation to it. There's no. We're basically pioneering things as we go in a whole new digital front. And trying to bring crypto to the world. So it's exciting. You get to create something new. Something that's never been done before. So it's like every day, it's not mundane. It's not rinse and repeat. It's something new and exciting that we can do and bring to the world. So.
100%. So, guys, once again, thank you guys so much for joining the community mashup. This is episode 3 of the community mashup between the Saitama Wolfpack and the Voyager token. So thank you guys for being here. We're going to get started right at 8 o'clock. Obi, I was wondering if you would take some time to explain kind of to the listeners, everybody who's here, so they can really comprehend and understand how early we are as far as the adoption cycle goes.
Oh, yeah. In terms of crypto space in general, we're extremely early. We're estimated to be somewhere around 3 to 4% global adoption right now by most publications that try to track that based on like user wallets and adoption and trades happening. And, if you kind of put that into terms of a traditional, like, if you were to go out and Google like Wikipedia for like a technology adoption cycle, you get effectively what a bell curve is. And on the left-hand side of the bell curve, if you think of like a church bell or like the Liberty Bell, you have like that initial ramp up that starts from the ground, left-hand side, and then starts to curve upwards. So that's the early innovators phase. If you were to kind of visualize that, that's where we're at right now, is right where that the lip of the bell is starting to go upwards. And then if you imagine the left-hand side of that bell being the early adopters phase, that would be like 3% global adoption to 15% global adoption. And that would be transitioning to the mass adoption phase, which would be, like 16% to roughly, 35, 40%. That'd be like the top of the bell, the meat of it. And then you're going down the right-hand side of the bell, that'd be your late adopters, the people that are, more than after half the world's adopted it, the late comers, right? And then you have the laggards, which would be the opposite lip of that bell. And that would be the place you absolutely would dread to be, because you've missed out. So we're really at that point right now where we're exiting the early innovators phase and we're entering that early adopters phase. And crypto or digital assets have been growing at the fastest rate in recorded history, faster than telephones, faster than the internet, faster than cell phones, and faster than television. I mean, any kind of modern innovation of technology. So if we keep doubling at the pace that we're on, we should be looking at moving through that early adopters phase from 2022, really towards the end of 23, beginning of 24, start to transition to that point where we hit about 1 billion users in the world, and we start that mass adoption phase. And there's roughly 8 billion people on the planet. So you get to 1 out of 8, and that would be effectively the beginning of your mass adoption phase of the technology adoption cycle. So that's, really, really early. To kind of put that in terms of like a sports analogy, if your baseball game is 9 innings, we've listened to the national anthem, they've announced the lineups, and the visiting team has started their at-bats, but we haven't even got out of the first inning yet. Super early.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you mentioned that bell curve, man, because it's very, very true. And if you guys don't know what that is, I strongly suggest looking it up and getting an understanding of what Obi was just talking about, because it's exactly where we are, and that's part of the reason why I'm so excited about crypto, just in general, because it's so fascinating and how early that everybody is into crypto. Like, if you're an investor into crypto right now, I don't care what project you invest in, if they got any kind of solid backbone to it and some utility, and they're going to be around for the long shot, you're going to make a ton of money. People are like, no, well, I missed out on Bitcoin. Well, you might have, right? And not to say you did. It's at whatever it's trading at today, 40 something thousand. It's going to go up a lot. Ethereum is going to go up a tremendous amount. All these altcoins are going to go up an absolute ton. It's just a matter of, can you hold out that long? And it's not like decades either. I'm talking about how the growth, the exponential growth that crypto in general has received just in 2021 is unlike anything I've ever seen. Every time I go somewhere, because I travel a lot, I'm always going to different places, meeting with different people for Saitama. And now I look for things, billboards, I look for ads, campaigns, different things. And everything now that I see is related to crypto one way or another, or maybe not every turn I take, but it's becoming more and more adopted everywhere, not just in one state opposed to the other, but everywhere on a global scale, everywhere. And billboards, especially bus stops, people talking about crypto just in public. It's you didn't see that at all. As recent as early on in 2021, you didn't see that. And then now it's becoming more and more recognizable, more and more adapted, is becoming, known, respected, and understood, but not to the extent where people are adapting to it on a massive scale, right? That 1 to 3%, but definitely a lot more than it has been. It's just a tremendous growth.
Yeah, I view this as kind of the chasm, is the month that we're in right now. It's that transition from early innovators to early adopters. We're still kind of feeling out regulation across the globe, and people are starting to become aware of cryptocurrency or digital assets, but they don't really understand it yet, right? It's kind of like hearing about the internet and then, oh yeah, doesn't Microsoft run that or something? Back in the 90s, no one really understood what it was. It's that stage of early that we are right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But the fact that it's on people's mind is crucial, because
Yeah.
once you hear, it's like the classic marketing scheme. If you put something in somebody's mind, you kind of, and you implant it in their brain a little bit. It doesn't really do anything, but it's there. And then as they hear it again, it resurfaces to their brain in the front of their head, and they're like, hey, this is now the second, third time I've heard about this. And then you're 99% more inclined to do a little bit of research on your own and be like, okay, if all these people, are talking about it, they can't all be wrong, right? It at least, requires me to take a few minutes and do some research on my own. That was why I got into crypto. I passed on Bitcoin because I've been into business and investing for years, and I passed on crypto several times until, a few years ago. And then I was like, okay, obviously there's something here. I'm looking around and I'm seeing all these, 20-year-olds, mid-30s, millionaires, and here I am, been in school half my life and running companies and businesses and investing in stocks and all this other stuff, and making a decent money, but not money like these guys are making. That's for sure. I'm like, okay, there's something real here. There's something tangible. So, but yeah, it's there, and it's still early.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get started here in just 1 minute. Once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. This is episode 3 of the community mashup we're doing with Saitama, Wolfpack, and the Voyager token VGX. The way this is going to be structured, guys, we're going to do one side, and the next side we're going to go with Voyager first, because I want to leave more time for the Wolfpack to be able to ask questions to Russ, and potential new investors from Voyager to ask him as well. So that's how we're going to do this. Once again, thank you everybody for being here. I greatly appreciate it. So the speakers for the Voyager side of things is going to be Obi and Lucky. So we'll get started here in just a minute. If everybody can go ahead and retweet the space. I'm pretty sure we're the #1 trending space, and that speaks volumes to the two communities. Thank you guys for coming together. In regards to all the people that are requesting to speak, we're going to hold that off until each portion is done, and then we'll host an AMA at the end, if that's okay with you, Russ, Obi, and Lucky.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's do it.
All right, perfect. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Obi and Lucky, can you guys provide the Saitama community with the origin story of Voyager, as well as some background information on Voyager's leadership team and how the VGX token came to fruition?
Sure. So Voyager is a company started in 2018, and they are founded by Stephen Ehrlich, who is the former CEO of E-Trade and also Lightspeed Financial. So he's got experience in bringing companies from relative obscurity or starting the company and moving them into $1 billion companies. He's done that twice, and now with Voyager, he's done it 3 times. So he's the founder, along with some other folks. One notable one is Oscar Salazar, who was a founding CTO of Uber and who helped design the app for Voyager. And so he's still an advisor today, but he's not currently acting as CTO. So you've got a lot of leadership from the E-Trade space and the financial industry, as well as some tech giant companies that are behind this company. They are a public company listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, it's ticker VOYG, and on the US market, on the over-the-counter market right now as VYGVF. And they have eyes on moving their uplisting to NASDAQ in the near-term future. So the story kind of begins in 2018. Voyager, was designing an app to try to bring crypto awareness and an easy-to-trade platform to people, but they wanted to do it in a way that was, above board and upfront and trusted, and that's why they decided to list publicly. They were the first publicly listed crypto broker, and they acquired a multi-asset wallet in Ethos, which is where the VGX token originally started from, and that founding team joined Voyager and helped build and develop their ecosystem, and they're now a partner as the Particle Foundation founders, which we'll tie into, I'm sure, later. But that's the history. It started in 2018. In 2020, it really kind of started getting the user growth and adoption. They acquired a French exchange called LGO. So they have a broker-dealer license. They're a Canadian headquartered company that operates in 49 states in the United States. So it's every state except for New York. New York is awaiting a BIT license, so that they can operate in the state of New York. That'll be the last ad, and they're waiting for approval from the regulatory body in Canada in order to uplist or become a product in Canada. They've been one of the first foreign companies to be deemed fit and proper to work in France, so that we're about to expand probably in the next March-April timeframe here, that Voyager will be expanding to Europe, and from there, hopefully in the coming years, expand to other jurisdictions around the world. And I think that's a pretty good idea on the background, who's behind the company. One thing I guess is important to note too is being a publicly listed company. Steve has had the experience to navigate, in the late 90s and early 2000s, when the idea of an online stock brokerage was a new concept. Before that, you had to call your broker and make trades over the phone or go to a trading floor of, Wall Street. So he kind of navigated and innovated that space as well in the 90s. So, the kind of person or individual that's well connected that you'd really want in the driver's seat to kind of go through this kind of untested model and new experiment once again, as we bring digital assets to people in a centralized way. So how's that? Do I leave anything for Lucky in terms of the background?
Is there anything you want to add, Lucky?
I think you covered most of it. I mean, I think as you touched upon, the leadership is extraordinary, coming from some big companies. So super, super impressive there.
Yeah, I think it's really important to note just one thing, that Brian Brooks, the former OCC and Comp Controller of the United States, just joined the board of advisors for Voyager as well.
Yeah, and they've also added Pam Kramer as CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and she is also has an E-Trade background as well as Twitter. So a very, very good cast of leadership all around at this company, and very happy to have people with the experience and connections that they have to provide us with a good platform to use. The user experience is awesome, but I'm sure we'll touch on that later.
Yep. So the next question is, Voyager is working hard to become a lifestyle financial application. Can you speak on the products they plan on offering and highlight some of the key acquisitions and partnerships that Voyager has made over the past year? I think Obi might be having difficulty. Give us 1 second. Can you guys still hear us?
I hear you, Big T.
Okay. Give us 1 second. We'll get him back up here. Sorry about that, guys. Give us 1 moment. He'll have to leave the spaces and come back, so just give us 1 second. We'll get back underway.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
You're back.
I think the Twitter Spaces bug came up and bit me.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I can't wait till they get that underway. I mean, it's a great platform to use. It's a good way to get out information, but pretty buggy at times. But did you hear the question?
Yeah, so Voyager's working to become a lifestyle financial application, offering more products than just digital assets. Right now, they do have over 70 digital assets on the platform, of which about 30 to 40 or so are transferable and are even offer interest earning capabilities. So it's an awesome platform, and starting out with crypto because it's the best asset class that offers the best kind of opportunity to grow your wealth right now that exists in the market. But they are establishing right now a process of adding a debit card. And so that product will be out, which will allow also a checking and routing number and bill pay and direct deposit to go along with it. And that'll be effectively enabling you to use it as a bank as well as your brokerage. And there's some really great benefits of that. When we get into the rewards and tokenomics and use cases, I'll cover some of those pieces. But the other thing that they have in the roadmap for the year is adding stocks to the platform. They have a partnership with the Nigerians, in Market Rebellion, and so they're going to have the ability to be a crypto first app, but have the ability to buy stocks with crypto, and in addition to the banking. And then eventually down the road, we see other things in the roadmap like individual retirement accounts and lending as other products that they anticipate on offering. They're also trying to bridge as a broker. They have an advantage in being able to
I think we lost him again.
Can you hear me, Big T?
Yeah, I can.
If you want to jump, maybe we can go to the next question and we can get Obi back on. We can finish that one off.
Sure. Obi, you'll have to leave the space again and come back, brother. I don't know what's going on with your Twitter or Twitter in general right now. Give me 1 second. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and go to the next question. I'll go ahead and ask this to you, Lucky, and then we'll go back to Obi on that one. There are a lot of great projects out in the market. Can you explain to me why you chose to allocate a portion of your portfolio into VGX, and what is the differences between a Voyager token or some of the other utility tokens such as FTX, Crow, Cell, or any other platform coin?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe understanding my background a little bit. I mean, I've been in the crypto space since 2017, and started on the traditional Coinbase platform. For you guys that remember the big rush in 2017 when funds couldn't clear and you were emailing and calling Coinbase and saying, "Where's my money? I want to buy stuff as fast as I can." That's kind of when I started, and I've been in this space for a while. I've used lots of platforms, and I recently just started working on the Voyager platform, and the benefits that it provides is unspeakable, I think, to the other platforms. I mean, just holding crypto and getting gains back, yearly yields on the crypto that I hold, the ease of use for the UI, the reoccurring buys without the fees, which is huge for me, because they're a brokerage. They're not like your typical Coinbase. there's just so many benefits that I've found in just utilizing this platform. It's really, it's cool. I mean, it's if you're someone just joining this market, or if you're someone that's, in the DeFi space like myself, but still want to be in stable coins and hold a certain set of assets, or coins like Saitama, which I personally hold, love the project. It's a spot to start, and it's a great platform to begin.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. Give us 1 second. We're going to wait for Obi to get back up here so we can continue. He's having a little bit of difficulties. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Hey, Russ, you being the other co-host, do you see Obi's request? Because it's not showing up on my screen.
No, I didn't. I had just looked. I don't see him up on there.
Okay. Obi, if you can hear us, go ahead and leave the space, come back, and then request to speak, and we'll go ahead and continue. And sorry about the troubles, y'all.
Yeah, Twitter does that. It's weird sometimes that Twitter Space does, especially when there gets to be a lot of people in there. I think they might need to update some of their tech a little bit.
Yeah, especially when you get this many people. I have no idea how many people are in here right now. I haven't really looked, but I could imagine, it bugged the system. I know that there was issues in another community's spaces the other day, so hopefully, they can fix them, get it to work a little better.
So Big T, I probably won't do justice as Obi would do to the tokenomics and the fundamentals of the VGX platform. As we wait, is there something that we want to cover on the Saitama group, or do you want to give them a couple minutes?
If you want to, Russ, do you want to just jump right in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
we can kick things off.
Okay. So can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, how you got into crypto, and speak on how Saitama came to life?
Yeah, sure. So a little bit about myself for the people here that don't know me or haven't heard any of the spaces or AMAs and things that we've done in the past. I've been in crypto for a few years. I have a business background, as a subsidiary owner for Berkshire Hathaway. I'm a business major. I have a minor in finance. I've been in a lot of different areas in business, between obviously running my own, working as director of operations for some different nonprofits, and more importantly, just an avid learner, right? And anything to do with finance and money and numbers just really kind of catches my eye. So I've been in finance for a long time, and investing. I kind of started out traditionally, in stocks, IRA, real estate, just anything where I could really turn a profit. Aside from just sticking my money under my mattress or inside of a bank account, I ventured into a lot of different things. So as I had mentioned earlier in the call, I kind of passed on crypto a couple times. Friends of mine that were heavily into investing said, "Hey, check it out. Check out Bitcoin. Check out crypto." I've looked into it, and I was like, "Well, this is just some kind of black market thing where I can laundry money or whatever." And I'm like, "I don't want to do that. I do things very legitimately." So didn't want to get my hands dirty with it. So as time progressed and I started to see it really make a move, I started looking into it and started to invest a little bit here and there. And then more recently, as in 2020, I got more involved in crypto, and I saw a lot of these different altcoins and these things kind of take off. Dabbled into Voyager a little bit and started out my platform and trading on there, as well as Robinhood, Coinbase, and kind of got an idea of the difference between centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges and the different coins, altcoins. Started to research, and as you guys all know, there isn't really a lot of information out there for somebody wanting to learn about crypto. You just kind of stuck to the information you had, right? YouTube, Reddit, small forums here and there, but nothing really that gives you any kind of an idea of what crypto is in general. So it was a lot of just scratching the surface and looking for information. So as I started to get involved into crypto and learn about the different things, the differences between all these different coins and projects, I invested a few monies here and there, made some profits, and then got into Saitama when it launched. And it was just kind of serendipitous the way that it worked out. myself and the other developers, we got into it. And as you guys know, the project was renounced shortly after launch. So, here we were as really early investors, and okay, we obviously we like the white paper, we like the roadmap. We saw where the coin was going if it had the right people in the community behind it to push it. So we kind of just made the move at that point to be, okay, let's take over as developers for this coin. And it just really worked out the way that it did. We all have a very unique background and brought something very unique to the coin. We have Max, who's our CTO, probably one of the best coders I've ever met, and he just happens to be on our development team now. Everybody that was in there brought a very different dynamic to the coin and what we could do and what we wanted to do. So we then started working on Saitama, changed the roadmap, altered the white paper and said we want to focus on, being transparent, because we lived in a space to where every other coin that came out there was a scam. It was a rug pull. It was a honeypot. All these different quote unquote developers were basically meme coin names, right? You didn't know who it was. So I'm entrusting my money with somebody that I have no idea who their real name is. I don't know if they have any experience in crypto. I don't know if they have any experience in business, how to run a business, how to handle or manage money. I just know that they know how to create an avatar. Like we want to create a space that's healthy, that's transparent, that's safe, and then we also want to educate people. So as we created the Saitama and started putting it together and making a safe, suitable trading platform, we also wanted to incorporate the education part. So where we could make education suitable, we can make cryptocurrency more literate to people that don't know anything about crypto, like a majority of the people do not. So that's kind of, we had all these ideas and we put them out on the table and said, okay, now let's bring it together and start putting things together. So as we did that, the community came on board, started getting bigger, starting to get a lot of tractions. We made some great relationships and business partners along the way, people that were able to help and that carried the same mindset that we're wanting to see Saitama do well. So everybody that we've talked to and come across from then until now are not just investors, but they're huge supporters and they're just part of the wolf pack, and that's part of who we are. It's not just a group of 6 developers, but it's 300,000 investors that all have the common goal of watching and wanting Saitama to do well. So it's not just us trying to do something, it's everybody. It's a movement. It's a kind of the premise like everybody wants this token to do so well because they see the importance of it. They see the impact that it could potentially make, and they're growing their investment, but they want other people to succeed and do well as at the same time. So they get their mom and their brother and their sister and their friend on board, and then before you know it, we've already done 2 million%, and everybody that they talked to and brought in is making money. Everybody's happy. And then aside from that, we're still growing and we're still accomplishing all the things that we want to do. And there's so much more to come that's just kind of, it's just a snowball effect from there. So that's how I kind of got involved with Saitama. And that's kind of the backdrop, a little backstory behind it a little bit. It's the same for myself and all the other developers. We just kind of got into it, and then just kind of created this bond with each other as well as the community ever since.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, brother. When it comes to marketing, can you outline some of the key partnerships that you have and talk a little bit about when raising brand awareness? Where do you like to allocate your resources?
So we don't have a traditional marketing wallet like a lot of these other coins do, where they have a tax in place where it's like 1 or 2%, where they have certain funds allocated to marketing or directly for marketing. So we're kind of having to do a lot with very little at this point. So we have to be very strategic when it comes to that. So the marketing that we do is a lot of it from the community, right? Where they come out and some of these people in the community pay for billboards here and there, or we'll have merchandise where they are walking marketing material with our merch or stuff, and that in itself has proven to be the most effective marketing strategy. Is just word of mouth. As far as marketing plans that we have done as a community to help, or as a development team to kind of push this along, we've done some campaigns to where it's we have we did just recently the Javante Davis fight. We've done billboards in New York and Times Square. We've done lots of press releases. We've had a lot of people with a lot of influence come and kind of support our brand and recognition and help get the name Saitama out there, but not necessarily as paid promotions. Like I said, it takes the community to do all that. We don't have deep pockets to be shelling out, millions of dollars to get high profile people to talk about Saitama. We have everybody that promotes Saitama, whether you hear them on a YouTube or you hear them in Reddit, or if you see anything anywhere, 99% of the time it's not a paid promotion. It's just people that are community members, holders, avid Wolfpack members that want to see Saitama do well. And if they can help push the brand out with their people that they have as under their influence, they do that, right? Because it's about brand recognition. So that's kind of been our, kind of claim to fame to this point, is just, spreading mass adoption through marketing, however and whenever we possibly can. We've created some great partnerships with a lot of different people. We have, just different areas. We have some, MMA, cage sponsorships, stuff that doesn't really cost a lot of money, but has proven to be pretty effective, right? So it's just, like I said, trying to do as much as we can with as little bit of resources as possible.
Yeah, and I want to jump in there for a second. I think, I followed the Saitama story. Like I said, I started investing in October, and I can see where you guys are going, and I think that's great with what you're doing with the community. And one of the reasons why I was super excited about tonight was because kind of the two things that I really value in the crypto world is, one, bringing adoption and understanding to this world, because I believe there is a lot of value here. Everyone in this room is already one step ahead of a majority of the population, which is a great thing. And utilizing not only, what we were talking about earlier, the Voyager platform, just getting into the crypto space, right? Being able to earn off of bringing over your US dollars, or bringing over or buying Ethereum and then moving it over to a wallet to buy Saitama. Like, there's a value string in all that. And it's great as these communities kind of come together and see that, because it's a journey, and together we're going to make this so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it really is. And because it's not about just me or just any one particular investor or holder of Saitama. It gives everybody a feeling of accomplishment. It's like, if I get one person to invest in Saitama, like, I've not only helped the community, helped the coin, helped the project, but I've also helped that person, knowing long term that you just created an opportunity for them to have financial freedom, whether it's next year or 5 years from now. They're going to have that opportunity at their fingertips, and you help them create that. So that's a big advocate and a reason for why we've grown so much. It's not because we ran one marketing campaign versus the other, because there's just not enough data to analyze. But I truly believe that the reason for our substantial growth is a lot to do with, word of mouth. And, when you have something solid, it's not hard to sell, right? Like, you're not going door to door selling Tupperware, right? You're basically telling people, hey, I have a foolproof method to at least turn your dollar into $2. Just hear me out, and then it's like, as crypto becomes more adopted, they're like, I've heard about that. Is this what you're doing? Like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And okay, and then they're going to want to check it out, because nothing spreads faster than people making money.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think, just to add to your point, is these spaces alone, you coming on here and talking about the community, it does wonders just to the token itself, because now you're really hearing, the people behind it, what the real goal and value is. And it's amazing what Spaces has done for this community also, because I think it's going to 10 times now, just being able to talk to each other like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives investors also peace of mind too, right? I mean, as an investor, like, if I wasn't a developer of Saitama, if I wasn't involved in it, right, and I wanted to hear what it was about, and if I came into a space and was able to have an open conversation, with the CEO or COO of the company, and say, hey, tell me what your company is about, tell me what you guys are trying to do, I have enough kind of an ability to understand and read people like, yeah, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about. I'm going to entrust that, right? Not just different avenues. Right? There's builds a trust factor, and that's kind of what we've been doing from the beginning, is having that, that transparency. Like, I think our first AMA was an actual video chat through Zoom, and there was only like 40 investors at that point. I think there was only 40 holders, or 50, maybe less. And we did a Zoom call, And everyone's like, wow, you guys are actually the developers of the project. I can see your face. Like, yeah, this is us. Like, we are normal ass people, and we're trying to create something, and we want you guys to be a part of it. Like, here we are, we're out there, and you already know, like, when you dox yourself, a lot comes with that, and that's the reason why a lot of people don't want to do that, is because they want to maintain that transparency, but they also want to have an out. Like, okay, just in case shit goes bad, I want to have an outlet. I want to be able to go south quick and just kind of disappear off the face of the earth. If you're doxxed, you can't really do that. People know who you are, and especially at this level. People recognize me all the time everywhere I go, and that's okay because that's part of the process. But again, it's new, right? And I feel it's becoming more and more the norm, and I like to see that.
So I wanted to move on to the next question. And I totally agree with you. That level of transparency is key in any project or business. Having somebody to be able to go to, put a face to a name, is huge. And I think there's great benefits to both sides, being anonymous and then, putting your name on something. So I have a lot of respect for you for doing that. I can only imagine some of the things that people say to you on the positive side and negative side of things. And it's probably really hard to maintain a good balance, but you do a fantastic job of doing that. So community, in my opinion, is one of the most important aspects in all of crypto. Can you tell the Voyager community what you love about the Saitama Wolfpack and speak on the importance of community?
Yeah, I mean, like the community is the backbone of what we're doing. I mean, the development team, we push the buttons, right? We make certain things go. We sign the dotted line. We finalize the product. We put the tech out there, but we are just a group of guys deploying tech, in a specific spot without the community. We wouldn't be 300,000 people if it wasn't for each and every single person in the community making this what it is. And community in crypto is extremely important because there's so many ups and downs. Crypto is so volatile, right? That if the community doesn't trust and have faith in the project and what you're doing, it won't succeed. It doesn't matter if it's going to be the next hottest thing on the market, right? If you don't have the community support, you won't be able to live through those ups and those downs. That roller coaster is just way too vicious. If you got to have 100% support all the time, not just in the good, but in the bad too. I mean, being able to build each other up during the times, during the tough times. And Saitama, trust me, and everybody has been a holder for a while has been through those tough times. We've had a lot of, we've been the target of a lot of different things, and we've had to endure, a lot of trials and tribulations in these last 6 months. But because the community is so strong, we've been able to outlive that, right? And then that's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Everybody knows where we're going to be this year, next year, or 3 years from now. So they understand that it's not just a straight line to the top, right? And they have the support of each other, and they trust the process. And being the community as strong as it is, are there for one another, right? If somebody's down and they're having a hard time, and they're like, man, the market's down. I see it all the time. They bring each other back up. So if you don't have that strength and stability in the community, your project is not going to succeed. It just won't. It doesn't matter how well it's structured. It doesn't matter, the innovation behind it, the development team. It doesn't matter because you've got to have that community. That's the foundation, right? That's the brick and mortar behind the entire company. It's never the guys at the top. It's the guys on the ground floor that make it work. So every day, I thank the community for everything that they've done, because without them, we can't do anything. I couldn't focus on creating this token and pushing it, to the levels that we have without the 100% support of the community. It's just not possible, right? I would have to be constantly reassuring the community, constantly, making sure everybody's okay and that they haven't lost faith in us yet, and what that does is it takes time away from handling important things and pushing this thing to where we expect it to and want it to go. So when you have all those other advocates there next to you, speaking highly of it and bringing each other up, it makes our job way, way easier. And we couldn't do it either way. We couldn't do it without them. It's a mutual bond, right? And they have to happen.
100%. I totally agree. And I think, one of my major takeaways from what you just said is, great things take time, guys. It's not going to happen overnight. There's a reason why people say time in the market, not timing the market. You will make more money over a prolonged period of time investing into a good, solid project than you will trying to, flip a couple dollars here and there. And it speaks, to volumes of your community. I've had the opportunity to hang out with the Wolf Pack in Danny Spaces, Marmar. I mean, the list goes on. Mindy, and they've just been such great individuals to kind of link up with. And I was trying to figure out, what was it? Who was the next community I wanted to do this with? We've done it with the Shib, we've done it with Luna. I had to do it with Saitama. There was no doubt in my mind. I didn't care how it got there; it just had to happen. So, shout out to the community and to those who support this project. You guys are doing a phenomenal job, and this is why we're here today. So I just wanted to close that aspect out right there. Before I get started with my next question, I want to say congratulations on the Certic audit. That's a huge deal. My question is, Saitama is Saitamask is set to launch soon. Can you explain to Voyager customers what that is and outline how this product will differentiate from other small wallets?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we've been working really hard on this thing. I say because we've all been on this roller coaster together. But Max, our CTO, and his engineers, and they've been putting in just countless hours over this last 6 months putting this thing together. And we're finally at that stage where we're able to release it. It's been quote unquote completed for the last couple of months. Completed being the testnet version, the beta version. It's been completed, but we can't anything that it deals with money and you're exchanging other people's money. More importantly, it's got to be completely as safe as humanly possible, which is why we had the Certic audit done. And for those of you guys that had a chance to look at the Certic audit, it just blew it away. Right, I've never seen an audit come back and with that little errors and nothing major whatsoever. It was just very, very minor. We've corrected it. So yeah, so now we're ready to release it. We'll be having it rolled out this weekend, and we're really excited about it. So what kind of separates it from your traditional swap function or wallet? And the idea is when we put it together is we didn't want to create just a wallet, right? We didn't want to have a place just for you to put your tokens on, right? We wanted to have everything incorporated into it so you would never have to download another app ever again. What includes in that, and it's all part of our roadmap, for Saitamask. Traditionally, at first when we launch it, we'll have some swap capabilities. We'll have some, traditional meme coin, altcoins, and some stable coins on there that we can, swap so you can integrate your seed phrase, import it. So whatever you have in your traditional wallet now can live on there as it coordinates directly with Saitama. We'll have staking capabilities on there for Saitama. We'll also have staking capabilities with other coins if they choose to do so to add liquidity to it. So that's part of our initial rollout, of course. And then as the roadmap progresses, we'll have our gaming, our NFT platform, Saita Social, where we can go and socialize, and we'll create, content, our education or entertainment platform, and you can go and learn about cryptocurrency, blockchain development, and all those things. And it's going to be a constantly growing machine to where we're constantly updating it. But the idea is to have all the capabilities and functionalities of crypto, NFTs, gaming, everything under one roof, so you can have it all under one app. So you're not having to necessarily close this app to go to another to swap coins, send it here, transfer it there, stake it on somewhere else, buy an NFT here, then send it to your wallet. We want it to be as streamlined and as simple as possible, as well as being a very safe platform in order to conduct these transactions through. So that's kind of the premise of it. And then again, at the roadmap, we'll offer a card to crypto payment system. The hardest part about crypto right now and getting people involved and invested is how difficult it is to buy crypto. You can, of course, like on Voyager, you can come in and set up a bank account and you can buy, all the different coins that are on there, and it's very easy to use. Now, if you want to dive a little bit deeper in the rabbit hole and get in on some low market coins, you have to utilize the, Sushi Swap, Uniswap, Pancake Swap, and it's a little bit more difficult and it's limited, right? Because you can only, put in a couple bucks through a third party, and it's very difficult and it's cost a ton in fees. So with Saitamask, it's going to eliminate a lot of those heavy gas fees, which is going to be huge. Because especially if you're only wanting to invest like $100, $150, you don't want to pay $125 in gas fees. It's crazy. So that's what we're implementing on there. So it's easy to use, easy to get comfortable with. Fees are minimal, and you'll have the ability to do pretty much whatever you want.
Brother, I love what you just said there. That is freaking awesome. That is great. That is going to be a powerhouse. I love that. All right. So I was reading a press release that you guys are working on that. It's called Edutainment Platform for new and existing customers. Can you go over what this is and why you believe this is important?
Yeah, so there's a lot of moving parts that's going to be involved into our edutainment education platform. The idea, right, is to, as we roll into this new adopted era of digital currency, there's going to be a lack of knowledge, an even bigger gap of education there, to where we're throwing this information, this data out to the general public without really educating them on what it is and what it's really about. So we're trying to create content wrapped around that to help educate people on what crypto is, better yet, what blockchain development is, what cybersecurity is, what gaming, NFT content creation, all these different aspects that roll into cryptocurrency, not just the traditional coin, but every single octopus tentacle that comes with that. Now, as we build this platform up and we educate everybody with that, it's my goal for down the road as a company, right, Saitama LLC, as we grow, I want to actually have like physical locations to where we can offer different incentive programs and scholarships, and have people go through these programs, teach them all the content we have, bring them on for internships, give them OJT, put them out into the workforce, because there's going to be so many jobs created based around blockchaining and, digital assets on any level and every level, that we're going to have more jobs than we have trained individuals for. So the idea is to start a program that takes somebody from the beginning all the way to the end and placing them into a job, whether it's with Saitama or whether it's with another company that is requiring somebody that skill set.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's super exciting. I mean, I just want to touch upon that because, I think what you're providing to the community is huge. And, a lot of spaces that Big T and I are on, I feel like we're always talking about financial literacy and really having people understand, one, what cryptocurrency is, what earning money off your money means, what saving, dollar cost averaging. I mean, just getting into this whole space, right? And I think you providing that platform long term for individuals that probably aren't getting it at home, just to be honest, right? Because a lot of it, like you said earlier, is learned through curiosity or YouTube or online and just going to different forums. But that's big. I mean, that's big for people growing up and wanting to really understand the financial network, cryptocurrency, and how to just step into this world. And that's super exciting. I mean, people should be really excited for this token for doing that. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the idea, because there is no escaping. There is no world in the next 5, 10, 20, 50 years that does not involve cryptocurrency on a massive scale. So, yeah, I mean, we have to understand and think about the next generations that are coming up, right? Because this is their world that we're leaving to them. So we need to give them the tools in order to succeed. And a lot of the excitement that I have towards cryptocurrency is putting people in charge of their money, giving them a financial literacy and freedom to make their own decision on what they want to do with their money and let their money work for them. I'm a big advocate in letting your money work for you, don't work for your money, and that's how cryptocurrency could benefit you. I think we've been in a vicious cycle for so long that we've let other people manipulate how we utilize our money, and all they're doing is taking our money and using it for their benefit, when we should ultimately be in charge of our own money and doing what we want with it. And how do you educate people that, because it's not the norm? So it's not, you're not going against the grain. You're just showing them, hey, look at over here. Like, this is how it should be. It doesn't have to be this way anymore. Like, we can show you a different way.
Right. And that was probably something, just to kind of share with the crowd, is like, that's something that kind of the light bulb hit my mind, a couple of weeks ago, and saying, man, there's ways to make, just even the Voyager platform, whatever platform you're taking, you can make more than 0.1% out of your bank account. Like, what am I doing right now? Like, why isn't someone teaching me this? Why am I not moving money into like a Voyager platform or another platform that's making 6, 7, 8, 9% on my money? Like, we've been trained so much in this, we'll call it the fiat world, where we have to start switching over to this cryptocurrency world and really thinking about ourselves and the financial freedom and to get us over that barrier of what we've been taught all our life.
No, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, yeah, like in the Voyager, even having a stable coin, right? If you're not a high risk, high reward type investor, and you want like, hey, crypto's too volatile for me. I don't want to mess with it. Okay, cool. You grab some Ethereum, put it like on a Voyager, get your APR, whatever, 8, 10, 12%, whatever, right? And now you're making money when Ethereum goes up, and you're getting APR. You will never go to any bank on the planet and get 8% APR anywhere. You don't even get that from a long-term Roth, right? So
right, and what I think what you're providing as a platform, which is like super exciting. I mean, really, that is awesome. What you're providing is really teaching people those concepts, and that's really what we're missing, I think, just as a culture in general, because that's how people break away from that 9 to 5 or that job that locks you down, because they're not really understanding how to build that wealth long term. It takes time, yes, but if you invest the time in it, you will come out on top.
Right. Instead of taking $50 a paycheck, throwing it in your bank account, and okay, it's going to take me 20 years at $50 a paycheck, to get whatever, $20,000. Like, okay, but you could take $50 a paycheck, put it here, invest it here, and then instead of getting your 0.001% and counting on the money that you put in there every paycheck, you get 10x, 100x your money, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then maybe retirement comes 5 years earlier than you thought.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best advices I've ever gotten. I've been in the corporate world for about 15 years, and before I got my first paycheck, and even people that are doing this today, if you're getting a paycheck, take 5, 10, 15% dollars out of that paycheck, like you never ever see it. Put it away. Dollar cost average into something that's an asset, like in crypto. Put it in ETH, Bitcoin, whatever, Saitama, whatever you want to pick, right? A stable coin, and just let that accumulate over time. And that alone come back 5, 10, 15 years from now, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed what it can do. One, not knowing that you had that, but two, just kind of accumulating that over time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you throw in the algorithm of the market and the way that it's going to grow over the next. And yeah, I mean, I promise you, the first billionaire in this world, trillionaire, is going to be somebody from the crypto space. I promise you. And everybody on this call, regardless of how many coins and whatever those coins are that they have, like, they will reach a comfort level in the very near future and be able to retire, or maybe not retire, but do whatever they want to do, pay off that house, pay off those student loans, you know what I mean? Whatever it is that they set out to do financially, whatever that goal is, like, they're going to achieve it very, very soon. It's just a matter of living with the ups and downs of crypto and the volatility, and being able to have a strong stomach. And when I talk to people about crypto, like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Like, it goes up and it goes down so much. Like, you have to have a strong stomach. It's not just going to be an easy ride to the top. You have to be able to take the ups and the downs, and understand that, hey, you might have 100,000 one day and it might dip down to 25,000 the next. But as long as you understand that it's going to go up to 250,000 in the next 6 months, then what it's at today, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't. The market's going to shift. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. So it weeds out a lot of people, and it's part of that education process tied into that, like being able to tell people and educate them by, hey, it's okay. Like, and I still do to this day. Friends of mine I have all invested in Saitama. Even my parents are invested in Saitama, and they have no idea what crypto is. And they'll text me and be like, hey, I'm down, $300 today. What should I do? Should I panic? I'm like, no, you should just go for a walk. Don't worry, it's gonna be all right. I promise you. But a few days later, they're like, oh, okay, I got it all back. We're all good. I'm like, yeah, told you. So, but yeah, anyways, I'm excited about it. There's so many, as far as I know, we got way off left field, but the education portion is huge. So as we get into mass adoption with crypto, there's going to be a lot of questions, and there's going to be a lot of inquiring minds that want to know and learn about crypto. And if we can have a platform for them to learn about that, and educate themselves and allow people to make their own decision on what they want to do with their investment, then I think everybody wins. Not just Saitama, but crypto in general, because we've always wanted to just not be about ourselves, but we don't want to siphon money from one platform or one coin to another. We want to bring in the rest of the world. Say, hey, like, it's here. Your money is safe here. You can make a solid investment. Like, you can have financial literacy and freedom if you choose to. Here are the tools to do it, and here's the education that you need to make that choice.
100%, totally agree. And I really respect what you're trying to do there. I mean, you're setting people up in future generations to have success in the crypto industry. The fact is that we're moving at such a fast pace. It's hard to get people in the right positions to continue to grow the space. There's just not enough people. So having that education piece where we're teaching people the importance of crypto, why it's relevant, and how ultimately this is going to change the world, I think is key. And hats off to you. So diving a little bit into the tokenomics of Saitama, can you touch base on that? Go over the statistics, and then talk about this hyper burn that I've been hearing about and how the mechanism works.
Yeah, absolutely. So the tokenomics structured around Saitama are pretty simple. There's only two caveats to it. It's just a burn mechanism and a redistribution to the holders, or a reflection. So it's 2% burn, 2% back to the holder. So each transaction, doesn't matter if it's a buy, a sell, or a transfer, 2% is going to go to the burn wallet, 2% is going to be distributed to the holders that hold at least some Saitama token. Obviously, the more you hold, the more tokens you'll get. It has to be fair. If I hold 5 trillion coins, I'm going to get more than the guy that holds 10 billion, right? I mean, you're still going to get some, just not quite as much as the guy above you. So and that's passive income, right? And as our coin value increases, that dollar amount will increase with it, right? So if you get 10 billion tokens for free every week or two, whatever the coin value, whatever 10 billion coins is worth, that's all free money. Like, you didn't have to do anything to get that. You just get it for free, which is great. And on the other side of that is the actual burn mechanism, to where our circulating supply is constantly shrinking. So I think in the last 8 months, we started off at 49%. We burned 49 off the bat. And then burn tokens, of course, for you guys that don't know, they're not accessible by anybody. Nobody can access them. I can't access them. Nobody can. They're gone forever. So all that does is make the circulating supply smaller and smaller. So I think we've burned over 7 quadrillion tokens in the last 6 to 8 months. And that's based off a lot of months with a lot of very little volume. When we first started, the first 2-3 months, our volume never really exceeded 1 million per day. And that's not uncommon for new coins. You don't get a lot of volume because you don't have a lot of people buying and selling and trading. But now, I mean, if you look today, we're probably over 20 million. 20 million US dollars of transactions on a 24-hour period is huge. That initiates a massive burn. So as we go on and we can maintain this volume, our burn is going to continue to just go through the roof. We're going to burn so many tokens that our circulating supply is going to continue to decrease. That's just on a normal day, right? A normal tokenomic structure. So now as we initiate what's kind of like a hyper burn, we're on our platform, the Saitamask itself. Every transaction that occurs in Saitama or on the Saitamask will be in Saitama. So if you're swapping one coin for another, that fee that is coupled with that will be in Saitama. If you are a token that you want to get listed on Saitamask, you're going to have to create a Saitama liquidity pairing. So you'll have to then buy the tokens from where else but Uniswap, because that's where our liquidity pool is right now, and then put them onto Saitamask as a LP. And then we'll also have the staking mechanisms, which will have liquidity in there. So all these different things, right? These different tokens being swapped. If we're doing 20 million a day, and say we list a token, token XYZ comes on the Saitamask, and they do 1 million a day or 5 million a day, all these microtransactions initiate burns. So we're burning not just the 20 million on Uniswap, we're burning all these different tokens on Saitamask. We're doing all these different things with liquidity because every token that's on there has to have a Saitama pairing. So the price is going through the roof because the pairings are there, and everybody that wants to get listed on our platform has to provide Saitama as a pairing option. So all these things together is just nonstop burning tokens. And if we've burned 7 quadrillion tokens just on Uniswap in the last 8 months, based on the daily volume that we had, just imagine what we're going to do in 8 months. We could potentially burn 14 quadrillion coins in the next 8 months. So as that circulating supply starts to shrink and shrink and shrink, the token itself becomes more rare, right? It becomes less and less. So that just makes the price go up. It's the same concept if you see all these other tokens like, oh, we're going to burn whatever, $5 million worth of tokens tonight. You may not see it, right? It may not be a huge green candle, But when the circulating supply decreases, it has to push the price up. So this is kind of a huge factor. And everything that we've done and everything that we do so far has always been geared towards the actual token itself. We wanted to not only make it a stable coin that we can do these transactions with, but we wanted the coin obviously to do well for the for the investors, right? Everybody wants to hold the token and have it the price increase, right? We have enough zeros left that we can move this price as far up as we want. And as we start to do these hyper burns and we bring on more holders and we start to increase the value, we start to increase the use case. And now we're using the Saitama token, not necessarily from a monetary gain, but more as a utility token inside of a platform we're creating. It just adds that more use to it. It adds that much more utility. It adds that many more holders. What if you come into Saitama and because you just want to buy a couple of the tokens that are on there? Well, you still have to hold some Saitama to do that. Right? If you go on to Binance, you have to hold some BNB to utilize the functions on that platform. It's the same concept. So that in itself will make the price just go up and up over time, and also reduce the circulating supply through these hyper burns.
That's amazing, brother. That's very in depth, and it seems like there's so many levels to it, and value is going to be derived for your token from so many different areas. I'm really excited to see how that pans out and works out, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So I was going to ask you, what security measures are you taking to vet projects before you list them on your platform? How many will you start with? And if I'm looking to purchase crypto on your exchange, what's the denominator that I will trade in, and how will it work?
Yeah, so we have a couple of sorry, I was trying to read something here. We have a couple of different options right now. So we have Saitama is going to be the only pairing for a couple different reasons at first. We'll have other options available down the road, but for right now, it'll just be Saitama. The different things that we have to do to put on there, we'll have a vetting process, right? We have our guys look at the coding. We'll look for initial red flags, right? We'll look at circulating supply. We'll look at top holders. We'll look at, the different aspects of the smart contract. Is there tokens being sent to a weird wallet we don't know about? Is there something, kind of risque going on that, we think is a red flag? We'll look at those in the ins and outs. And then, of course, we'll look to see, are they doxed? Are they going to be KYC'd? Is it audited? All these different things. So we'll kind of look at a lot of different things before we allow them to list on our platform. And even then, Max had talked about putting like a safety score with it. So ones that have obviously a higher score will be less of a risk. Ones with a little bit lower score will be a little bit more of a high risk. We can't eliminate every single risk because you just never know. We can eliminate the obvious. All right, we can say, okay, this can't be a rug pull because of A, B, and C. It makes it physically impossible. But is there opportunity for other things to happen? Sure. I mean, there's different ways around it. I think we've all been through some of those situations in the past to where there was no seeing it happen, right? There was no real red flags. It just like kind of came out of nowhere. But we're trying our best, and we have a system in place that will not completely eliminate, but drastically reduce those measures. And essentially, we'll have a process like a KYC and a doxing process to really kind of back that up as much as possible, as well as looking into the smart contract and the normal stuff, right? The audit, and the token distribution and looking at the smart contract and seeing where the coins are going. And then again, also looking at the community too. That's a big part of, tokens in general, like how does the community act? What are the, the plans, the roadmap? We don't want to, have coins that are listed on there and be like, okay, well, what's your roadmap? What's your utility? Be like, I don't know. We just want to kind of create a token and just see where it goes. Okay, well, that's probably not a good idea, but so there's other things that we'll do. But yeah, and they'll all be, paired with Saitama. That'll be our initial, one-on-one pairing. So if you wanted to go on there and get them, essentially right off the bat, you'll have to do a Saitama pairing with it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So obviously I'm a huge supporter of the Voyager platform, and I'd love to see Saitama, listed. You know that I'm, friends with Steve, the CEO. So, I definitely want to link the two of you guys up and see if we can't get the ball rolling on that. I know there's certain things they can and cannot do. But I think, getting you two together to have a conversation would be huge, because personally, I would love to have it on Voyager. I love what you're doing. But I wanted to ask you, are there any plans to list on any other exchanges at this point? Is that on the roadmap?
Yeah, no, and like I said before, I'm a huge fan of Voyager, so I'm definitely looking forward to having Saitama on Voyager. Other platforms that we've initiated conversation with, there's several, right? I mean, we're always in the process of negotiating and talking with centralized exchanges to have Saitama listed on there. It's like I've kind of mentioned, the fact it is a priority for us to be available on every single available platform, regardless of who they are. Volume is volume regardless. And I understand that people feel comfortable utilizing multiple platforms, and it's okay. We want to just make it accessible for as many people as possible. Wherever that is where we'll be. So, in the very near future, Saitama will be available across the board, regardless of what platform you choose to trade on. It'll be on there. It's just a matter of when that happens. Like I said, we're always in conversation and communication. And the amount of volume and growth that we've had, it's just a matter of time before every single exchange out there is like, it's probably about time we list Saitama on our platform.
100%. Guys, I want you to think about that. I know there's a lot of, huge supporters in here of Saitama. If that doesn't make the hair on your neck stand up, like, think about the opportunity, what's in front of you. You have the opportunity right now to hold an asset that is, so much untapped potential right now. Like, it's unbelievable. Know the value, what you hold, stick with your level of conviction. You've done the due diligence. You're here. So congratulations. You're early. But there's so much more here. The team is building. They're executing. You've heard the story. You know what's going on. He's very transparent. I love what I'm hearing, man. I really, really do. So that concludes my questions portion. I want to go ahead and open the floor up to question to people. If you don't mind, we can take maybe 15, 20 questions. And then we'll go ahead. And I just want to announce this real quick. So we're having a real unique situation. For some reason, a lot of the people in the VGX community is being targeted right now on this space, and I don't know why. So a lot of people cannot even get into the space. I have people DMing me left and right, like, it's not letting me in, it's not letting me in. So after we finish the AMA portion, we're going to switch over to a new space hosted by Obi. If you guys would all go ahead and migrate over there after that's done. So that way you can go ahead and learn about Voyager and VGX if anybody's interested. But I want to go ahead and open the floor if that's okay with you, Russ.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know why that is. Okay,
Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely.
Let me just say one thing real quick. So, Russ, I appreciate all the information you dropped. I think the value of you coming on here and sharing it, in person like this is so much more than just reading it on a website or trying to understand it through, white papers. There's a big future ahead for Saitama. I can hear it in your voice. I can hear the conviction. I think, partnerships like with Voyager or other big platforms are huge for us as a community. I'm super excited about that. And one of the things that I just want to share is, for everyone listening, like, taking something like this that will provide value in the long term, and really just, even if it's a small amount, investing into an asset like this is huge. And it's important for people to see that and realize that. And no matter what that amount is, it can really do wonders if you think about it long term versus short term. And you touched upon that. This isn't like that just to get rich quick. This is, you want to build wealth and you want to build financial freedom, and there's a path to that, and this is definitely in that path.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, man. Well said. It's part of, it's crypto, and it's fast paced, but it's still an investment. And honestly, it's the fastest growing investment that I've ever been a part of. But either way, when you look at an investment, you're like, okay, I'm not going to buy it today in hopes that I'm going to be rich tomorrow. But I think a lot of people hear some of those success stories and they're like, well, why can't I be rich? Like, I got like $100 crypto last Tuesday. It's now Monday, and I have $110. Where's my millions? But
where's my Lambo is like what I say. Where's my Lambo at?
Yeah, where's my Lambo at? I don't understand. Like, my buddy Todd, he bought $100 of crypto last year, and now he's got 200 grand. I put $100 last weekend, now I got 110. Like, oh well, it takes a little time, but everybody's still so early, man. That it's just patience is key.
Absolutely. And that's one of the main things is you have to look at yourself. Are you an investor? Because to me, that's over a prolonged time frame. Or are you a trader? And it's okay to be either one, but clearly distinguish what you are. You know, if you're in a project and you're saying that you believe in it for the long term, you believe that they're going to execute and do the things that they're going to say they're going to do, then it's a total mind frame shift. And then also, I want to remind everybody, think about why you got into crypto in the first place. It's because we know the system's broken, guys, and crypto is a much better way to do things. Ultimately, this all reverts back to Bitcoin, the decentralization, the privacy. I mean, we have the right and we have the opportunity to gain our freedom back. So just always remember and revert back to why are you in this to begin with. And then, if you believe in a project, stick with it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open the floor up to question. I'm going to take Brad first, then we're going to go to Abdominal Hoke. So where's Brad? Welcome up, Brad. How you doing, brother?
Hey guys, I just want to speak to the VGX community. I mean, Wolfpack community is amazing through and through. I've seen miracles for months, just beautiful miracles in this community. So, and the Lily tribe's right behind them. It's just a loving place. They help each other out. Our hearts, just my little girl's been treated amazing throughout this Wolfpack community. You guys are in for a real treat. That's all I got to say.
Awesome. Thanks, Brad. Brad, if you guys don't know, Brad from Lily Token has been a big supporter of our project from the beginning and helped us culminate this Lily token that we'll be launching on Saitama, and they got a lot of amazing things going on too that we're gonna, partner with and bring to fruition to the cryptocurrency platform and to the population of everybody involved. So I'm excited about that as well. So thanks for coming on, Brad. Appreciate the support as always, man.
Yes, sir.
We're going to bring up next, Not My Shib. And guys, real quick, whenever you guys are done speaking, if you can remove yourself down, just click on your profile picture and switch to listener just so we can keep this clean. There's going to be a lot of people requesting.
I'm literally like shaking right now with how excited I am about everything you described. Thank you for going into detail about all the little knowns that we knew was coming with like phase 1 in the project. But just hearing you describe in greater detail, I am so excited. But I wanted to circle back and ask a question of clarity regarding the education portal of Saitama. Initially, I was curious to ask if this was something that the community was going to be putting out content for other people to learn this and that. But now after hearing you speak, it actually sounds more closely like this is, and I mean, this is like a high caliber, almost equivalent to like a Google Academy of building up future generations of whether crypto developers, crypto enthusiasts in general. But can you clarify that point for me? Who will be creating the content? And can you clarify also that it sounds like that's more that elevated platform of like an academy level leading towards that internship for future generations, please? Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Awesome. I appreciate the feedback. So it's going to be a combination of the two, right? So we'll have, like I say to make or say to social, people will be able to upload content that they have and that they've created, whether that be, digital artwork, NFTs, education content, and we empower everybody to do that. It gives everybody, the opportunity to then share the content they've created, whatever that may be, whether it's education content, geared, structured, or not. But the other side of that will also be content that we are creating. As the people in Saitama, the moderators, the development team, outsourcing some of it as well for graphics and animations that we can do voiceovers on. So it'll be a combination of the two. But as we progress, then yes, it will be more geared towards an actual platform, like a learning-driven atmosphere, right? Not where it's just fun animations and fun content, but actually driven to project learning and project certain things onto the viewer and the learner, right? It's people that want to understand and learn more about it. So that's part of our roadmap that will kind of be constantly under development and creating this content and pushing it out. But long term, projectively, that's the goal for us.
My brother, man, thank you again. You literally continue to exceed expectations. Thank you for all the hard work. Literally, thank you also to your wife as well. I know she posts content about how hardworking you are. And, you know, just thank you for all the sacrifices you've made for all 300,000 of us, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks.
That's the kind of energy we need up in here, y'all. If you're going to step up here, bring it. Nothing but love and positivity, for real. We're going to go to JT XRP next, and I'm just going to go down the requests as they come in, guys. So welcome up, JT. Floor is yours, brother. Go ahead. You have to unmute.
Who are we talking to?
To you, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was still calling my questions a little bit. I thought I had more time. So, hey, I just wanted to say thank you again for putting together this space. I've heard about Saitama a little bit before, and obviously I'm on the XRP ledger side of things, and I'm interested to always hear more about other blockchains. And I'm not just in XRP. I'm into several different coins and tokens, and I just looking you guys up while you're talking, looking at your coin market cap and your website. Beautiful white paper, by the way. Love the design. I just want to compliment your designers there. I love the education side of things and your passion for bringing people into jobs. I definitely think that there's a lot of need for that in the crypto space. I actually, one of the reasons I started my YouTube channel is because I was looking for to do something in crypto. So I think that really appreciate what you guys are doing there. I'll have to look you guys up more. But I wanted to ask you, because you are an Ethereum token, you talked about getting around gas fees and swapping and some of the things that are very common with Ethereum. And I'm trying to understand how you guys are getting around that. Is there a certain is it your chain that allows you to reduce that those costs? Are you atomic swapping? Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have plans to initiate and launch a SATA chain, which is we will have our own blockchain. That's something that we're looking into deploying here in 2022, I believe, what Max and them we're on the roadmap for. But for now, initially, how we can reduce the fees is there's a couple different fees that people pay, right? And this is just common knowledge for those that don't know. When you go on to Uniswap, you're not just paying the miner fee, right? You're paying the Uniswap fee, you're paying a MetaMask router fee, you're paying whatever platform you're utilizing. There's a fee associated with that. So the fees that we have, it depends on the transaction that you're going to make. But if we are having to incorporate the Ethereum blockchain within that transaction, the fee will be much less, right? Because the fees that we're charging are going to be less than Uniswap. They're going to be less than a MetaMask. They're going to be less than any other platform out there that has to incorporate the traditional blockchain inside that transaction. I don't know the exact amount that Uniswap uses. I think it's something like 2.5 or something like that. But ours, whatever it is, like we looked them all up, and ours are less, right? So they're going to be much less. So the fees on that side are going to be less. Now, if you're looking to make a one-for-one swap, so if you're swapping, like I said, because of the pairing, if you're swapping Saitama for a different token on our platform, we'll have a Saitama pairing in there. So the liquidity is available in both tokens. So we can essentially bypass the blockchain for that. We don't need to provide a minor fee associated to it. It'll just be a micro transaction within our own platform. So you're essentially swapping one for one, right? You don't need to go on the blockchain to create that transaction. You just do a one-for-one swap. So that kind of inadvertently eliminates that completely. But if it is a blockchain transaction, our fees will be less. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. But however, you want to make a trade, it's going to be less than anywhere else. And if we have the liquidity pairing already available, then we kind of dictate what that cost is. And we can already say that it'll be much less than anywhere else.
Gotcha. And I'm sure a lot of people are listening right now thinking, how do I get into Saitama? For me, I was just pulling up Coinbase and going to Coinbase Wallet. It seems like I can buy you guys probably off of Uniswap. There is how it works, I think. But usually when I get into Ethereum tokens, I like to be able to have the on and off ramp right there as much as possible. How is the on ramp for you guys? Will I be able to go from fiat directly into you? Is there a way to do that now without having to use Uniswap or?
So for right now, right, it's in our roadmap. I think Max saying Q1, Q2, where we're going to initiate a card to crypto payment system, to where you can actually just upload your debit card or your bank information and buy Saitama directly on Saitama through the app with your own, banking information or debit card. For right now, as we're on the ERC platform, if you use the centralized exchange that we were offered on, we have several that are out there that offer Saitama. You can go through a Coinbase wallet and do it that way, but of course you're still paying. The only pairing there available is still the Ethereum to Saitama. You're still paying the gas fees just like you would be on like a Uniswap. So for right now, that's the only avenue to swap from traditional fiat to Saitama is going the Ethereum route. But if not, like I said, we're going to have that on our platform probably in the next 2-3 months, hopefully, however soon we can get that rolled out.
Yeah, Russ, I want to
touch use a centralized exchange.
I want to touch upon something there, because this is where my mind starts thinking around how I can capitalize on rewards like through the platform we were talking about earlier, going directly into the Saitama piece. So as part of the Voyager, moving part of my money into the platform, I can make 9% off my USDC, right, on a yearly basis. So that's just a percentage of money working for my money. And then using a debit card, I can get cash back on my debit card. So now I can purchase crypto through something like you're gonna offer, that I can go through your platform to not only buy a token that has great utility like you covered today, but then I'm gonna get rewards back on that. It's like that's the mindset that I want people to be thinking about, is how to capitalize on all that as we're talking about these great projects all together, because there's lots of opportunity there, but it's turning that light switch on your head of saying, how can I maximize return and value for what I'm doing?
Yeah, that's the idea. And I know that these guys, we talked a little bit about doing something similar to that also, like having that card system, like a SATA bank card or something that we can utilize. I know it's not under construction, anything that we're looking to roll out like tomorrow, but I know it was that that we're putting together. Ability of the APR, on the platform, and having your money sit there and make money is phenomenal. And that's just one of the many perks of crypto in general right now, is to be able to do that, because you're not going to get that anywhere else through a traditional banking system. There's just no way they'd laugh you right out the door.
Well, I'll wrap up here, but one last thing. If whatever you choose, whatever third party you decide to integrate that allows you to go from your debit card or whatever, just please make sure we can do it in Texas, man, because we just get so restricted down here.
No, I'm actually from Texas, so I live in Texas, so you'll be sure that it will be accepted in Texas. Right. I'll make sure of it. But no, so actually Max, our CTO, a little backstory. He actually runs a point of sale software system. He owns his own software system company up in the Northeast. So he knows all about all that stuff and how to integrate that stuff, and put in the card to crypto payment systems and having the APIs for all the different functions that we're going to need now and in the future. So, and again, that's just kind of one of those things that just happened back. Hey, you just happen to have a point of sale software system or company that you own. And guess what? We're trying to incorporate that into crypto. So it just worked out. And you're a development team member for Saitama. So yeah, it just kind of everything just fell into place in that aspect. But no, don't worry. I'm from Texas. I got your back. We'll make sure that it's accepted here.
Well, I appreciate it. If you're in the Dallas area, maybe we can connect on LinkedIn or something and talk more. But thanks so much for your time. I'll let someone else step up.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother. We're going to go to Hulk next. Go ahead, Hulk.
Yo, what up? the same story.
Space so far. I enjoy talking about crypto all the time. I'm a huge nerd about it, and I love the possibilities. And having conversations like this with like-minded individuals is definitely something I look forward to all the time.
All right, thank you. I'll be stepping down.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for coming up here. We're going to go to Jim Gamer Dad next. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, did you guys say
Jim
me?
Gamer Dad. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't have a lot to say. I think a lot of people have heard me talk before. I just wanted to say that just from a business standpoint, I think just what Saitama Guru with what Russ is saying, just from that background, it's just like everything he's saying is revolutionary because you don't see any other cryptos or communities doing this. And so it just says so much about him and everybody else that is in this community. Just that Saitama and Saitama's, when it comes out, is just going to be like just a huge game changer. And if I had to say anything to Russ, like I said to him before, like what is your favorite thing about Saitama? I think like he said a whole bunch already and what he said to the entire community, but just from the human side of it, because I think he's speaking from like a business standpoint because he's talking about Saitama, but on a personal standpoint, just being human, like for everybody in here, what is your favorite thing about Saitama? That would be what I would ask him.
Yeah, like I said, from the business perspective, there's so many amazing things that we've done and that we continue to do, and the plans that we have for the future. And I haven't even talked about like some of the other things that we're going to have going on in 2022 that I'm excited about that I haven't even began to pull the lid back on. But personally, from a personal standpoint, what I enjoy the most about it is just the success stories and the people's lives that have changed because of Saitama, because of everything that we do from day to day revolves one way or another around money, right? And what's our biggest problem 99% of the time is that we don't have control over it and we don't have enough of it. It's like we're always handing money out and people are asking for it, but we're never getting any of it back, right? So some of the success stories and the things that I've been able to see and hear and people that I've talked to, on a personal level, to me, that means the most. If we can change the lives of 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, a million people or more, to me, that's gratitude enough, right? That makes it all worthwhile. It's not about, making money. It's about helping other people just have a little bit more than they had the day before, right? Having a little bit of financial freedom, whether that means to retire a little earlier, maybe it means to take that family trip, or spend a little bit more time at home, or pay off some of those bills that have been hanging over your head for the last 6 years, anything like that. To me, that's what makes, personally, that's the biggest kickback for me. That's what I enjoy the most of it.
Yeah, and it speaks so much volumes to what he said, because if anybody goes through the Saitama community, like you can see this being acted out every single day. Like it's not just in what people are saying in spaces and what is being done, personally through, DMs or anything, but it's actually being done worldwide. Like, food drives are being done. There's a whole bunch, like there was this big Christmas drive that was done through people sending stuff through Amazon. There's so much that I have seen in Saitama that it just makes me go all in. And so I just wanted to say for anybody within Voyager or wherever, like, everything in what he said, that's his favorite part. It's just that is what happens every single day. So love you, Russ. Love you guys. Thanks so much for bringing me up.
Thank you, brother.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much. All right, guys, we're going to do, Russ, 5-10 more questions?
What time is it? Yeah, I got about 5 more. Hour and a half will probably be my cutoff. We're about an hour, 20 minutes right now. So.
So we'll take 5 more. The next person we're going to go to is Troopers NFT. Welcome to the stage, brother. Go ahead.
Was that Troopers?
Yep, go ahead.
Go. Thanks, Big T. Thanks, Lucky. Thanks for hosting the space. I really appreciate it. It's been great. Ross, just wanted to say thanks for all that amazing information. From a personal perspective, I'm quite new to Saitama. I've been in a few spaces and heard a lot about it, and just love the sort of ethos and whole sort of purpose behind it as a coin, and what you've come up to today and talked about is really has been huge, massively inspirational. I really perked up and was super interested in the whole aspect around the kind of, as somebody else has mentioned, about the educating and bringing up of the sort of next generation of people into the space. It's something that we're in the process of launching a very small upcoming NFT that's focusing on a similar mission of kind of protecting and looking after people coming into the crypto space. And I would just love, to connect in any way possible and take 5 minutes of your time to talk about how anything that we can do as a little NFT community to sort of promote that whole educational part of what you're doing. I just think it's phenomenal, and is something we're really close to. Really, really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, awesome, man. There's always opportunity there, and we're always creating joint ventures and collaborations with, like-minded companies and coins that want to do something similar. Because at the end of the day, we don't do it all, right? We don't have all the information, we don't have all the answers, and it takes, the entire crypto community to accomplish these kind of goals. So, there's always opportunity there. So I would say definitely just reach out to myself or somebody on the staff, and we can set something up easy.
I appreciate it. I'll definitely do that. I mean, it's we're just, like I say, small, up and coming, but we're really passionate about just looking after newcomers in the space and making sure that the next generation, which we're only talking like the next people, the next few months, can just lower that barrier of entry and just get on board, so we can all move forward. So yeah, I just love it all, and hopefully we can connect and take it forward.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to it. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. And thanks again, Big and Lucky. Great space again. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We're going to go to Saitama Mask World Developers next. Go ahead, brother. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Russ, I'm a big retro game fan. I still have Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, so I'm excited about Wolfcaster. Will that game be playable on the phone?
Yeah. So Gabe and his team, they're big in retro. I've looked at some of the demos, and it brings me back, like way back. So the idea, I think, is to have it available on multiple platforms. I think they're talking about Gabe is putting out a 1-level demo here coming up pretty soon. I know they've been putting a lot of work and effort into it, and I think he said something like the full available version, maybe like in March. So as far as I understand, hopefully I'm not giving you wrong information. It'll be available on the phone as well, because we want to have all of our games and everything integrated onto Saitama, right, and make it so you can just go from portal to portal, inside one platform to play games and NFTs and trade tokens and do your staking and all that stuff. So it should be available, within the Saitama gaming platform.
Yeah, I appreciate the answer. Thanks. I'll drop down.
Thank you, brother. We're going to bring Texas from Chicago up. Welcome to the stage, brother. You can go ahead, brother.
Oh, I didn't know I was coming up, but if y'all looking for a project in 2022, by Saitama. Russ, I have a question to ask you. What do the end of the year look like for you?
The end of the year for this year, since we just started, we have so many things going on, man. It's hard to even digest at this point. how many things that we have lined up. The Saitama is launching this weekend. Obviously, it's going to be the pillar of what we've been pushing for this entire time. But what comes with that is just an absolute waterfall of projects that we have lined up to go with it, right? So the roadmap itself on the Saitama is just extraordinary. If we're looking at all the different things that I kind of mentioned with the education and gaming, the NFT platforms and Sata Social and Wolfcaster with the games, all that stuff that we're doing is just a piece of the pie, but we couldn't really deploy any of it right until we had that foundation set within the Saitama. So now that that's ready to go and we're gonna roll it out, the remainder of 2022 is where we're going to start integrating all these things that we've had in the works that we're going to be putting final touches on and including that into our roadmap. And again, like I said, there's a lot of other things that are going to be involved that we're going to be doing that we haven't even released any information on yet. A lot of stuff that we're trying to do with the metaverse, stuff that we're doing with different industries aside from medical and ability. A lot of it, just a lot of different things. So, and some training aspects as well, geared more towards education, but training in the workplace. So, again, what it looks like at the end of 22 is just the sky's the limit, and we got so much opportunity in front of us. We got an amazing community and the hardest working development crew I've ever seen, and so there's really no stopping us. And now that the foundation is set and we're coming forward, I think this is our year, man. I'm excited about it.
Most definitely. And last question, Russ. I've been a part of Saitama pretty much since the summer, and watching you and the rest of the development team, y'all been kicking ass all 2021, the back end. For you to say, like, how was your mental state, like knowing that you got all these things going on? You're trying to push all this, all the things that's happening with the project. You got an amazing community. Your family, that we know that they're supportive. Like, how is your mental state, knowing what's going on? Like, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. I mean, this is nothing real new to me. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in business for a long time. I've made $1 million companies, for a long time. I know how to deal with it. And plus I have a heavy military background, which allows me to think kind of on my feet and multitask and handle pressure and stress very easily. So my mental state is always, and I have an amazing team and family that supports me. So I have nothing but positive feelings every day when I wake up. It's not, to me, this is easier than a mundane 9 to 5 because it's the same thing every day, and you don't really get to step back and look at what you accomplished. Here with the Saitama and the token, it's every day is something new, and it's not new bad, it's new good, it's new opportunities, it's new ways to grow the coin, it's new ways to get Saitama out there and branded to the people, it's new opportunities to create a better situation for somebody or a country or a company to integrate crypto to. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing but positivity. I look at things very optimistic. So I don't, if it takes too much negativity, I just push it aside. I don't have time, energy, or the need to focus on anything that's negative because there's so much positive stuff going on that I don't allow it to consume me. So my mental state is always in a positive place.
Man, Russ, appreciate you, brother. I know going into this year, you guys are going to continue to push forward and make sure this project and everything that you're doing get out to the masses. And I've seen what you've done, and I know your character. Met you out in Vegas. You're an amazing individual, and I appreciate you, brother. TC, thank you for letting me come up. Lucky, appreciate you, brothers. Y'all hosting an amazing platform this evening and giving everybody the opportunity to come up here and speak. So, keep doing what you're doing. And Russ, you the man, brother. Thank you.
Hey, I also appreciate it. As always, thanks for the support.
Thank you, Texas. Appreciate you, brother. So we're going to go to Saitama Mask World Developers. For some reason, I clicked on the wrong person, so I apologize, brother. Here you
go. Hello?
Go ahead.
Oh, hi. Easy. My first time to meet you. Russ, Good evening, and Voyager and team Saitama Wolfpack. Yeah, my name is Bud, and um, I'm not gonna question Russ. We've known him already for a while. I'm just gonna make a statement if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy. How you doing,
Oh,
bud? Good
oh,
things, man. Go ahead.
very good, Russ. Happy New Year to everybody and your family. And Saitama
Hey,
Wolfpack.
thanks. You too, bud.
Yeah, thank you. Saitama Wolfpack, as I have said before, I'm not a developer. I'm nobody. However, I'm here for the Saitama Wolfpack guidance for the journey. And I say it time and time and again. Okay, Saitama LLC as a company has been blessed with the group leaders, okay, the development team, and at the same time, they are also blessed with Saitama Wolfpack as a family. We've been through tornadoes, hurricanes, typhoons, earthquakes, for the past 2 months, but we stood up as a community, and that is very touching to me personally because I have carried the baggage when the prices are down, when people are frustrated, but the happiness that is that is outpouring today, okay, is limitless. It's priceless. And I want to thank King JB for the no for the endless effort. A couple of people over here, Crypto Alert, they always do the spaces at night, almost like 8, 12 hours. And I asked them a question: why are you guys doing that? That is that is tiring. And they said they're just doing it for the questions of Saitama Wolfpack, if they have any. And I commend all the Twitter spaces that are hosting Saitama. It's a pleasure to join you guys at night sometimes when I'm not busy. But for everybody, Russ, the Saitama Wolfpack, Trust wants to say our endless thank you for you, your family, the devs family, and everybody that is involved. We thank you very much for changing our lives. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, bud. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming up here, brother. So we're gonna close it with, let's see. We're gonna close so guys, this is gonna be the last question right here. And then afterwards we're gonna have closing statements, and then we're going to go over to Obi's Twitter space to go over the VGX portion. So if anybody's interested in that, please feel free to come over and join. There'll be a lot of good information going on during that. If you're not able to make it, we're going to go ahead and continue to film it. We do have 2 people recording the space. It's the investing guy, and we also have terraspaces.org recording this. So anybody who needs to go to bed or whatever, they'll be able to watch it over. But we're going to go ahead to the last person, and it is going to be Mike Lowry, aka I don't know what the rest says. Go ahead, Mike. Welcome up.
Wow, last question, guys. No pressure. Thank you for having me up. First and foremost, I'm brand new to the community. First 2-part question. My first question was, when does Saitama Mask go live? And is there? I heard there was a rumor there was a copycat version of Saitama Mask. So how do we as a new investor, as when I go to my iOS app store, how do we pick it? How do we know which one the real version is and the fake, the copycat?
Yeah, awesome. Good question, man. I appreciate bringing that up because there has been so many fake ones, and it seems like we report 5 and 10 more pop up. So Google and Apple both need to go ahead and tighten it. Like anybody can create an app and deploy it, right? Apple and Google aren't gonna follow up on it to see if it's legit or not. They just like, okay, cool, and they let it go. So our Saito wallet countdown we have out there, we're trying to get it out Saturday on the countdown. If we do get it out a little bit early, we will, make an announcement to everybody, as well as provide links for the proper wallet to download through the App Store. So we have our testnet version on both the Play Store and the App Store right now, but you can't connect your wallet to it. So if you download an app on there that says it's a Saitama and it asks you to connect your wallet, that's not ours because you can't. We had to deploy the testnet version on there. That way, when we deploy our actual functioning wallet, it's just a quick update instead of applying for a whole new app, because that takes time. If you guys have ever deployed an app on the App Store, it goes through a bit of a process. So we didn't want to have more of a delay. So we just deployed the testnet version on there. But when we actually deploy it and it goes live, we'll have the link to the proper wallet for the Play Store and the App Store everywhere we can, on our website, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. So whatever platform or page that you follow of us, you'll be able to find that link directly. And that'll probably be the safest way, because we, like I said, we reported a bunch of them. They just keep popping up, man. They're like roaches, can't get rid of them. So, but no, good question. So don't download anything yet until we actually provide the links on our main pages, just to be safe. Because there is the testnet version, which is fine, but there's also a bunch of wrong ones out there too. And I don't want anybody to connect their wallet.
I don't know if it's
accidentally
my bad connection, but he keeps on cutting out. Is everybody getting that?
Yeah, we heard it perfectly. It's your connection, brother.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, if somebody can DM me, kind of reiterate what he was saying, please, I'd appreciate it, man.
Yeah, can you hear me now, or are you good?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I didn't hear the part where when we expect for it to go live, if you even said that at all.
Oh no, well we have a countdown timer on there for it to go live on Saturday. We may deploy it a little earlier. Like, we didn't really want to do the timer at first because we were trying to avoid like market manipulation. But we put it on there because we didn't want to just continue to have people to wait and get antsy. So we're we're looking at deploying it on Saturday. If we do it on Friday, if we do it, it won't be any later than that. We'll put it that way. But whenever it is going live, we will put the links on every single one of our pages and platforms, so you guys can have the proper link to the app on the App Store or Google, whichever one you use.
Got it. Perfect, man. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me up.
Yeah, no problem. I wanted to bring one more person up here real quick, Russ. I want to bring up Mindy, if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah.
And then we'll go over closing remarks. Hey, Mindy, how's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, not bad. A little frustrated the Twitter Spaces broke at the first part, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, hi, TC, Lucky, and Russell. So when you all do your other space, you need to be on a VPN. But I couldn't be any more thrilled about this. I have used Voyager for some time. I am absolutely thrilled about this. And so, and also, whoever does the layout of your portfolio, I couldn't do it better myself. It is perfect. And now, so I do have a question. A few people in the community, because you had asked us, TC, to get some questions together for you, so we did it as a group effort. But the main one that was the repeating concern is one, will it pay reflections per the tokenomics, or because it's an interest-bearing pairing, will that replace that?
You talk about on the Saitama, the pairing is regarding the Saitama pairing, or what was the question?
Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up.
Or what were you talking about? You talking about for the Voyager or for ours?
Well,
for
because the just correct me if I'm wrong. The VGX will be on Saitama. Am I clear on that?
No, that was never discussed.
Okay, because somebody was messaging me saying it was, and I'm like, I don't think that's correct. I said, but if I get a chance, I'll ask, but I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's not been discussed.
No, I mean, there's a good possibility, right? We want to list as many on there as possible. So maybe we get Saitama on Voyager and we get VGX on Saitama. It sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
I think we'd all agree to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm thrilled about Voyager and Saitama. Like I said, I've used it for some time. It is such an easy platform to use, and I'm excited for all of us for it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I appreciate that. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and go over closing remarks. We'll start with Lucky, and then we'll go to Russ.
Yep.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for showing up. We are going to go over to OB Space to continue to go over the VGX portion of this. So if anybody wants to learn about the Voyager platform and VGX token, please hop over. We would love to teach people about it. It really is a powerful token and platform to use. But go ahead, Lucky.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I just want to share, as I think about 2022, where I'm at from a mental space in crypto. I think this year it's really finding tokens like Saitama and all the exciting stuff that's coming, and focusing my energy, my fiat dollars really on core crypto that I want to invest in. And of a roadmap there is for Saitama and the utility that it can provide in the future, especially the education piece, which is so important. So if you're new to this world, think about how you can step into this, be it through a Voyager platform or another platform. Think about that long-term generational wealth that you can build just by being patient. If you have money in your bank account, question yourself on why you're not looking for platforms on earning money off your money right now. So go look at programs like Voyager, for example, and see, if you're holding a couple ETH, if you're holding some Bitcoin, or if you're holding US dollar coins or US dollars that can be converted to US dollars coin, make money off that. So this year, really question yourself around passive income and how you yourself are going to build wealth, and focus on that. And that's kind of where I'll leave it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, brother. I totally agree with you. Final remarks, Russ?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Okay, that's great. That's great to have another insight like that, and people like you in the space to educate people like that, because it's important to not only know the ins and outs of crypto, but what it can do for you, right? What can crypto benefit you, not just from a monetary standpoint, but long-term wealth and generational wealth. It's not about short-term gain, short-term perspective. We all want that long-term, generational wealth that allows us to do things that we want to do, not tomorrow, not next week, but 20 years from now. Our kids can take advantage of that as well, and it's going to be here for that long, so why not? But in closing, I appreciate you guys having me on here and creating this opportunity and to speak to some of the Voyager community as well. And the Saitama community is always showing up in force. So always respect and props to you guys coming out, showing your love and support. Like I said in the beginning, the foundation is there and you guys help create that. So we got an amazing year ahead of us. We have just so much potential and so much projects that we got going on. The wallet's just around the corner, and I cannot wait, as I'm sure you guys are all overly ecstatic for as well. It's been a great space. I love the opportunity to come out and speak with you guys, answer questions, get to know everybody on a different level, different basis. And, like I said, all these different events we got coming up, and I'm hoping that I can meet all you guys on an actual personal basis as well. So, so thanks to Voyager VGX for bringing us on, having this opportunity. Looking forward for that opportunity as well. Doors always open for that carousel, right? The Voyager Saitama pairing and the VGX Saitama match pairing, right?
I was just getting ready to say that, brother. We'll exchange information after this, and we'll figure out how we can get the ball rolling. But I will say to the community too, they love the exposure. Pound the pavement. They always post what token do we need to post? What do people want? There was 3,000 people in the space at one point, and that's truly remarkable, guys. This is a very special project, and it deserves to be listed on a exchange/brokerage like Voyager. So, Russ, I look forward to continuing the conversation and see what we can do to make it happen.
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll put it out as a special request from myself to the community here. Let's go ahead and hit up Voyager on the Twitter space and drop them a quick line and say that we'd like to have Saitama listed on Voyager if possible. So let's do that for them. But yeah, no, awesome. I appreciate you guys having me on. It was an awesome experience, and we'll do it again sometime. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, brother. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and end this space. We are gonna go over to the other space. If you guys want to follow us and learn about the Voyager platform, why it's so effective, and learn about the utility. If you find that interesting, please go ahead and jump over to the next space. Once again, thank you so much, Russ. God bless you, and keep rocking it, brother. You're killing it.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, guys, let me go ahead and look for the new space, and then we'll get right on that. Ooh. This thing's not responding. I might have to close this one out and then open up a new one. All right, give me a second, guys. I think he said on Obi ones. Here we go.
Not just you, but I had about 20 different people from our community message me and say, hey, it keeps kicking me out of the space. They won't even allow me to enter. And I'm just like, how is it even possible?
It allowed me to enter, but it didn't allow you to see that I was requesting.
Okay, so I found it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say,
I'll switch back to listening for you guys can have room for other people.
And you guys did a great job in the room too, by the way. You guys did a phenomenal job.
Thank you. We just roll with the punches. Whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for following us over here. It really does mean a lot. We want to give you guys great information. Something that we're really passionate about as a group is teaching people about crypto and why Voyager is a great place to be. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a glass of water or run and get a water bottle, and then we'll go ahead and start this next portion of the VGX community and Voyager. So thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Actually, screw the water. Let's get started. Screw it, right?
Well,
You waited long enough, Obi. Thank you so much, bro. I'm sorry
well,
that happened to you.
You can go run and get a water while I answer the question you probably know the answer to. So
Okay. So
yeah.
we went over the can you tell us a little bit about yourself portion. We went over let's start at number 2. So when it comes to marketing, can you outline some of the key partnerships that you have and talk a little bit about when raising brand awareness? Where do you allocate your resources? Actually, no. Hold up. That's a sorry. Give me 1 second.
The Saitama question is
Yeah, that was a Saitama question. Sorry, I just had the wrong. Okay. So Voyager is working hard to become a lifestyle financial application. Can you speak on the products they plan on offering and highlight some of the key acquisitions and partnerships that Voyager has made over the past year?
Yeah. So Voyager being a broker dealer, they make a lot of partnerships. So first off, just on the trading side, they partner with 10 plus exchanges to provide maximum liquidity and order routing for your digital asset purchases or your cryptos. They have a lot of other partnerships. Part of the co-founders and team that started Voyager have left to go form the Particle Foundation. And so that's a foundation that buys real world art from like Sotheby's auction houses, and they'll break the real world art to like 10,000 unique NFTs. So it becomes an ability to more accessibly purchase a piece of fine art and give yourself exposure to an asset class that isn't directly tied to like the equities market, like so often crypto gets correlated with. So it's a good store of value that different exposure. They have a partnership with Avalanche where they're hopefully going to start bringing some DeFi aspects into the platform to make DeFi more accessible to all. And they'll simplify that. The primary function of a broker dealer is to facilitate making your life easy and making sure that you have avenues to investments, and that partnership is about opening those doors. And excited to see if that leads to some potential lending opportunities, which is another product that we anticipate seeing in the roadmap. And whether or not that ends up in a form of a credit card, or whether it ends up in the DeFi space or the collateralized loans aspect, we don't know if that'll be this year or 2023, but that's an exciting thing. Another product that is on the roadmap is IRAs, so individual retirement accounts. And before I got cut off on the last session, the debit card that's coming out here in the next several weeks is going to have a routing number and checking account tied to it, so you can direct deposit your paycheck and then pay bills from that, in addition to using the MasterCard. And I can go into the rewards and the MasterCards, but that pretty much touches on the partnerships that they have in terms of DeFi, CeFi vendors and roadmap. But lots to come, along with international expansion in these products. There's going to be a lot of excitement and exposure and a chance to really grow the user base in a big way.
Thank you, Obi. So there are a lot of great projects out there. Can you explain to me why you chose to allocate a portion of your portfolio into VGX? And what is it that differentiates Voyager token from the other utility tokens such as FTX, Crow, Cell, or any other platform token?
Yeah, so the reason that I invest in Voyager is I think it's the best app to use in terms of any kind of centralized option. It's unique in that it's a brokerage and not an exchange. So you have access to liquidity, lots of altcoins, and you have a path to earn interest on the majority of the assets on the site, or on the app rather. So it's unique in the tie-in that the Voyager token is the lifeblood of the platform. It fuels the how far you want to take your trading experience. So if you have the debit card, you can get your 9% USDC and your 4+% on Bitcoin, and anywhere between 1 and 12% on several different digital assets. But if you want to take it a step further with the utility, the VGX token is what powers that. So 500 tokens currently gets you to the adventurer tier, which will give you a 0.5% interest booster on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. And that's really great, because then instead of earning 9% on your dollars, you get 9.5%. And you also get 1% cash back on your debit card swipes. So it's unique that you get a savings platform that gives you 9.5% and also gives you 1% back for when you actually have to spend your money. So that's really cool. The Explorer tier is 5,000 tokens, and it boosts that debit card reward to 2% cash back and the interest booster to an extra 1%. And then there is the Navigator tier, which is 20,000 VGX, and that gives you 3% on your debit card, and it gives you 10.5% on your USDC. It gives you extra. All of these tiers have boosters for either interest or referrals or trading rewards. So one cool thing about Voyager is they, through the utility of VGX, you get money back on your trades. There's no buy fees when you go and place a trade. They will, through their smart order routing amongst different exchange partners, oftentimes what happens is you get a smaller, or excuse me, not smaller, but a lower filled price than what you're estimated to have received. So if you think of a business model like Expedia.com or Hotels.com, basically what they're doing is they're going out and they're querying the different hotels or airlines for the best deals. And Voyager's doing the same thing. They're checking the order books on the exchanges, trying to find you the best price. And that's how they make the majority of their revenue. But unlike other companies that decide to pocket the difference entirely, they actually will end up passing along some of those savings to their customers. And that's one of the unique things that Voyager does just in their ethos in general. And through this VGX token is they basically allow their most loyal customers to become their marketing. They reward the people on the platform as opposed to going out and spending, a whole bunch of dollars on expensive ads on TV or, putting their name on a building somewhere. Instead what they do is they return the money to the community. And that's really unique. You don't see a lot of publicly traded for-profit companies treat their customers the way that Voyager does. So those are the reasons why the Voyager token adds a lot of utility and what's great about VGX. One way that I like to view the VGX token is because it gives you a 7% staking rewards on an asset that is, supposed to, appreciate in value as there's more users entering the platform and the supply gets more scarce. So it's really cool because it's like owning a home where the price of the home goes up, but you rent it out and you collect your rental payment on the first of every month. And that's the 7% staking rewards. And then down the road, when they enable the lending capabilities, it's assumed that we would be able to leverage our tokens in a loan, just like you would a home equity line of credit. So you don't have to sell your property, your crypto. Instead, you can leverage that in a loan to lower your taxable exposure. So just think about that. It's really powerful. You're getting an investment property that's going to go up in price. It gives you payments every month. You don't have to worry about a tenant not being on time with their payments, or you don't have to worry about lawsuits or broken fences or toilets or taxes increases. So it keeps your funds liquid, and you don't have to rely on third parties. So that's why I personally invest in it, is for the utility of the platform, and then I treat the token itself as a rental property.
Yeah, and I think I'll just add there, if even if I take a step back and I don't go that far, even just me moving now the dollars I have in my bank account to make money off of that, I can use that, what I'm making, to go buy other things that would appreciate, that Obi's talking about. So even a first step into this is figure out how to utilize the platform to earn you rewards, and then use those rewards to go buy other things that are going to appreciate in value. So it's all just changing that mindset, and Obi's really good at kind of showing that way of getting to that point to look at it different.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, if you get into the Voyager token and you just use the platform, you're getting rewards back for referrals. You're getting rewards back for making trades. You're getting rewards back for swiping your card. Like every time you turn around, you're earning rewards, and you're getting the chance to, just through usage of the platform, level up your tiers and get exposure to even more rewards as you level up. So it's a pretty cool way of doing it. And if you get to a point where the price appreciates to the point, this is my philosophy on when do you take profit. And so I use the platform and I get the staking rewards and I get all these benefits. So I have a whole bunch of free tokens that have been accrued. And so at the point in time when the price of VGX multiplied by the quantity I've earned equals my initial investment in, I'll probably sell those rewards and recoup my initial investment. And then from that point forward, all income earned in that entire investment is there just to provide me passive income forever. And it's cost free because I've taken my initial principal out. So it's just an investment that I have there to pull from for income every single month. And if I wanted to, say turn my VGX into Bitcoin, I could easily do that by selling the VGX and buying Bitcoin. If I need to, pay bills or go on a vacation, I can do that through that investment vehicle. So it's pretty cool.
I mean, that's huge. And what I would ask all the listeners is, like, think about what you have right now and think about what's making you passive income like this. Just like step back for a second and think about what's in your bank account, what you have in cryptocurrency. And if you're not making anything off of that, just just rethink that for a second and say, why am I not? Why am I not on a platform like Voyager?
So, no, you're absolutely right. Guys, real quick, I posted my referral code to the top. So if anybody's interested in, checking out Voyager, if you download the application and trade $100, you get $25 in free Bitcoin. It's a great entry point. It's a fantastic platform, and you'll learn a lot about it in the spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and go on with my questions, but I just want to put that out there. If anybody's looking to download the Voyager app, I highly, highly recommend it. And even if just to utilize the 9% interest on your USDC, it's beating your bank by 80 times. So if you have money sitting in your checking and you're not utilizing it, you're wasting your money, guys. It really is life changing. Move that over to Voyager and start gaining that 9% interest. So Obi and Lucky, can you guys go over the tokenomics of VGX and why Voyager is poised to have a breakout 2022?
Yeah, so the tokenomics, there's a 7% staking rewards rate, which comes from new tokens being minted. So depending on the number of tokens being staked is directly correlated to the amount of new issuance happening. The supply right now is roughly 282 million, and there's 72% of the supply currently staked. So if you think about inflationary tokenomics being an issue, it's really not in the case of the Voyager token, because just like their user base is growing exponentially, we need more supply so that those new users have token supply to be able to purchase. And right now, the demand is so high for the token, for people getting into these loyalty tiers, that the buy side demand outstrips the new issuance by a ratio of about 10-1. And we're growing in numbers in the VLP members, and as well as the VGX Heroes community. We're growing 10 to 15% month over month. So there's constant demand for the token, and the supply is dwindling. So let's say there might be 70 million supply or something like that right now, but if we keep buying a couple million a month like we have been doing, by the time we get to international expansion, there'll probably only be about 10% of the supply floating around on exchanges, while we're entering new countries and getting exposure to literally tens, if not hundreds of millions of potential customers. I mean, France alone has 67 million people in their country. So, and then of course, Canada, New York is 20 million. So there's just so much potential out there to just put so much buy side demand. And as people get into this platform, you can only imagine when there's not a lot of supply to go around, what that does to price when there's really thin order books. So right now is a really good opportunity to get in when the token is really undervalued, around $3 right now. I can easily see that climbing quite rapidly. In terms of, just to kind of put your imagination on, Crypto.com has a token, and the CRO token, which is I think number 15 or 16 in market cap right now. And if the Voyager token gets to the same market cap that one is, the price of the VGX token would be over $50. So that kind of gives you an idea of where it could potentially go from a price appreciation perspective in the near term, as the user base expands and more people enter the VLP.
And that's something I wanted to touch on too, was, we just talked about the comparison between a Crow token or a Cell token. Voyager is based around and predicated off of putting money back into your pocket. The power of the VGX loyalty program is you get to decide how you want to utilize the platform that best suits you, and it puts money back in your pocket. So whether you're using it for from a traditional banking standpoint, or you're utilizing it for the cash back on trades, there's so many ways to get cash back. And I mean, there's passive income all around us, guys. If you're facilitating trades on a Coinbase or a Crypto.com, you are actually getting paid, as long as you hold the Voyager token, to do the same things that you're already doing. Now, just imagine when this, it's all about stacking rewards, right? We all love reflections. We all love interest. Now, imagine when you have a debit card that's paying you up to 10.5% interest up until the point of purchase. And then you have the opportunity to maximize your cash back when you do spend your money at 3%. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of dollars. I don't have much money. I'll be very upfront and frank. I'm not somebody who has all this money to invest. But the reality is that, you know, people use my referral code. I get referral code bonuses. I get VGX on top of that. Last month alone, and this was paid out yesterday, I got $380 in passive income from Voyager by just utilizing the platform. I don't do any trading on the platform. I just use it for the banking side of things, and I just utilize it for the referral bonuses. And then you know, when the debit card comes out, that's something that's going to add even more cash back. So you're looking at, I have the potential right now to make anywhere from $380 to $500 passive income by just utilizing the platform. There's very few platforms that will do this, guys. And I you know, as soon as people open their eyes to the fact that there's a company that really is this great, it's publicly traded, and you have the opportunity to participate in something like this for a fraction of the cost. I mean, I could honestly see this token, and this is not financial advice. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I really could see this token going $50 to $100 in the next 2 to 3 years. So to be able to solidify your position in a loyalty program that's based around literally putting money back in your pocket, as opposed to like a crypto.com where you're just getting a Netflix account, there's a huge difference. Voyager's taking the money that they make and putting it back into your pocket. So I just wanted to bring up that point.
Yeah, there's a big differentiation too. A lot of these platforms, they want you to buy the token and lock up, you know, the liquidity, or maybe bootstrap their ability to go out and get partnerships like a Netflix or Spotify account. But, you know, you got to spend decent chunk of change to even get those benefits. With Voyager, I mean, you can start getting the, you know, the 9% and all the different interest rates between 1 and 12% on the different cryptos with literally not owning any of the tokens. They give you that as a base member. But once you get into that 500 token tier, you really start to level up your passive income and your ability to maximize, you know, wealth generating activities. And especially if you're a trader, that cashback bonus on the trading can sometimes pay out more than the 7% staking rewards do. It just really depends on what kind of investor you are. If you're a more active trader or if you're more on the hodler side, either way, you're going to earn additional tokens once you become a VLP member. And by the way, that $50 estimate at the current tokens supply that we have, that's only a 15 billion market cap. Just wanted to throw that out there. It's only going to take a 30 billion market cap for VGX to reach $100 per token.
Which is unbelievable, because I mean, when you look at opportunity cost, guys, it's, I mean, the writing is on the wall. There's so much opportunity with this. Obi, can you talk a little bit about the comparison in Coinbase's funded accounts and Crypto.com's funded accounts, and how effective Voyager really is in this market? And that will give everybody a better understanding of what we mean by people are opening their eyes to this, guys. It's happening in real time. Voyager is taking a massive market share. Can you speak to that, Obi?
Yeah, so on the previous call, I mentioned, you know, how we were talking about awareness versus adoption, and where we were on the market cycle adoption of the technology shift, and how we were about 3 to 4% market share right now in the globe. So we're exiting the early innovators phase into the early adopters phase. And, you know, that means it translates to what we've seen in Voyager. You know, they went from less than 40,000 funded accounts and 500 million in assets under management a year ago to now having over 1.1 million funded accounts and over 3 million verified accounts, or 2.7. I'm rounding up because I think it's gone up in the recent weeks. And over 7 billion in assets under management. Just think about that. 500 million to over 7 billion, and less than 50,000 customers to over 1.1 million funded. That is like unheard of growth. It's amazing for a company that is growing that fast. So if you kind of think about the network effects of the referrals, the marketing, the VLP, the debit cards, the expansion, you know, you know, the other products in the pipeline, it's not hard to fathom that they can't, 4 or 5x their user base in the coming year. Now, how good are they at getting people from downloading the app to actually funding the account and utilizing it? What's the utilization rate? So Voyager has like roughly 3 million, it's 2.7, and over 1.1 million of those funded. So they're getting a 40% capture rate of people coming down the funnel from downloading the app to actually funding it and using it. Now, Coinbase will spout pretty, good stats in terms of downloaded users and people that have the platform, where they went from, I think, 63 million in the previous quarter that had downloaded the app, and just under 9 million actually funding the accounts and trading actively, which is only a 16% capture rate. To, in the most recent quarter they're filing, they increased their downloads to like 73 million, but their active trading user list actually fell to 7 million. So they've actually dropped in usage down to a 10% capture rate of people being aware and downloading the app and actually using it, where Voyager's going the opposite direction. They're bringing more people in, and their funnel or their capture rate is increasing. So they're very successful in the ease of use of the app and the benefits that it provides. It's really unparalleled to, what an exchange can offer in competition.
100%. And once again, guys, my referral code's at the top. If you are looking to download the application, it's US based right now. They are going international come Q1. But if you're interested in downloading the application, you're in America, you can't be in New York, utilize that code up top. Once again, you trade $100, you get $25 in free Bitcoin if you use the code.
See, that's the power of Voyager marketing right there.
100%.
Referral. You don't have to trade to earn money. You can just tell your friends and family about an option to have a debit card that pays them and a savings rate that gives them 100 times what the bank will give them.
So Obi, say you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So say you're an international customer, and you're in New York as well. You can't download the application. What can you do with the token right now? So that way you can at least front run people before this gets launched international, New York, Canada. I mean, there's so many countries that are about to come on board and be exposed to this that we know that the Voyager token is going to be a lot more expensive than what it is right now, quite frankly. If you're an international user, where can I get the VGX token? And is there anything that I can do with it?
Yeah, the Voyager token has great liquidity. It's available on Binance, Coinbase. It's available on FTX. It's available on Gate.io. It's available on several different places. So you can get exposure pretty easily no matter what part of the world you live in if you want to jump ahead of the line and secure your token count that you want. Or even if you just want to trade it, even without having the platform, it's still actually a pretty good token just to buy and hold, given what we've.
Did we lose him?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
So what I was saying is that you can front run a lot of this price activity and user growth that we were just talking about. So if you buy if you buy VGX on any of those platforms and you send it, because it's an ERC20 token, you can send it to a MetaMask wallet and go to investvoyager.com, and there's a section on there that talks about the crypto itself, and there's a spot to stake the token, and you can get exposure to that 7% APR. So you don't have to let it just sit on an exchange earning you nothing. You can at least go in and get your 7% staking rewards, which is obviously part of the smart contract and tokenomics. So it's not that's not up for change. One thing Voyager does eventually give us the option to do as a community is to participate in governance of the rewards program, which that in and of itself is pretty awesome for a publicly traded company that has a rewards program that does impact their bottom line, to share not only their revenue with their customers, but also give them a say in terms of governance for the utility token they're using. Love that piece. But we still have to kind of wait and see how that unfolds. And we haven't yet had a community vote for anything, but it's something they've talked about doing in terms of any changes to tokenomics or rewards down the road.
So, Obi, can you speak to why Voyager has a vested interest in making VGX as useful and as expensive as it possibly can be?
Yeah, it's the better price VGX is, the more marketing reach they have. They have growth pools built into the tokenomics. So there's 40 million tokens, of which 38 million have been unspent up to this point. That's kind of where those interest boosters and refer a friend and trading rewards are coming out of. And in year 2, there'll be 20 million growth pool added. And then years 3 through 8, it'll be 10 million. And we'll see, again, that's going to be something that'll be voted on by the community. But they have a path to at least add some marketing budget behind them. So with the growth pool. So what happens is they use that growth pool to reward their communities. Their community goes and gets referrals and gets people signed up. And then when the growth pool is exhausted, Voyager is going to have to go out to the open market and buy VGX on Coinbase and Binance and FTX, which means that there's buy-side demand coming from the company itself just to reward their customers. So they're incentivized to obviously have a bigger marketing budget through the tokenomics, but it even helps themselves when they have to go open market order, because it's going to cause the price to go up.
Right. And when you look at the tokenomics and token supply right now, you're looking at there's really only roughly a float of 38 million tokens. So when Voyager is actually taking these tokens off of the market, you're talking about that's coming back from interest from Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, the Refer a Friend program, the credit card and the debit card rewards. So this pool that they have is going to be exhausted extremely fast. The amount of buy-side pressure that's actually on Voyager token right now is astronomical. So you can only imagine the pressure that is going to be felt once that pool depletes. But that's not even taking into account something we already spoke about, the fact that it's about to go international, guys. You're talking about, Europe has more users in crypto than America has. So, the pressure is on. You're talking about a place where people are getting negative interest rates right now. You're about to implement a product like Voyager that's going to go there and eat the lunch of anybody that's operating. Voyager really is a powerhouse and is very unique, from that standpoint. So I'm super excited about, the expansion, all the things that are coming. But, you have the opportunity right now to front run those people before this ever happens. So this is to conclude this portion. Obi, can you give an elevator pitch on why the people in this chat should invest into VGX?
Yeah, if you want exposure to a publicly traded crypto brokerage that values their customers and shares in the profits with them, there's no better centralized option to get exposure to. As we go up the adoption curve into this early adopters phase of the digital asset market, most of the people are going to flock to traditional and safe assets before they really kind of get their feet grounded and maybe decide to venture out into self-custody or DeFi. The honest explanation is that most people are going to go to the centralized solutions, and Voyager has the best app and the best rewards and the best utility program of any option out there, whether that's an international option or domestic here in the States. So I see nothing but user growth for this company as they expand to new markets and launch new products. And if you want to be part of a company that has a marketing budget and that kind of strength behind it, even if you're staunchly in the DeFi camp, consider this as a centralized option, because that's where the majority of the market share is going to flock to.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you, Obi. I wanted to open the floor up to anybody that might have questions in regards to anything that we spoke about. There's so much opportunity here with this, guys. Voyager, there's so. It's kind of funny to say, but there's so much going on with Voyager that it's hard to even really hit the point home. You're talking about they haven't even opened up, the business and institution side of things, which is powered by the VGX token. So when you open that portion up to a company that has ties with, Mark Cuban, Tom Lee, all the bigwigs in the traditional financial space, the upside to having these types of partnerships, I can't stress to you. Once institutions understand and regulation comes down to where they feel comfortable investing into crypto, the first place that they are going to run to is a place like Voyager. Even if you don't hold the VGX token right now, and I hope this really hits home for everybody that's here, even if you don't hold the VGX token right now, and you solely want to utilize Voyager for the fact that they pay 9% interest on your money, you can download the app right now. And I promise you, as long as you hold a minimum of $100, now mind you, you'll have to put a little bit more than 100 in now because it's based off a monthly average. So say you throw 150 bucks in to Voyager right now, you will get paid 9% interest on your money. So if you're looking to test the waters and be like, is this real? Is this feasible? I'm telling you right now, it is. There's tons of people in the VGX community that are here right now. Actually, let's do this. Everybody that's in the VGX community, throw up 100s if you received an interest payment at some point during the last 3 days. So you guys see, it really happens. It's a real thing. So if you have a bank account, guys, they're not doing anything for you. The fact of the matter is that you have an unbelievable opportunity right now. There's been no company that has seen growth like this since Amazon. Steve, our CEO, always talks about this. He says, when we have our financial calls, we have thousands of people watching what we do. Think about that. The whole world is watching what Voyager's doing right now. It's really banking reimagined. Their niche is they want to become a lifestyle financial app. So when you start to, add all the dots together, it's a really unique value proposition that you have the opportunity to get in now and front run the institutions, all these other countries, and start looking at banking in a whole new light. But I want to go ahead and invite anybody who wants to come up and ask any questions. I promise you, we're not a aggressive group. There's no question that you could ask that's dumb. I promise you, I spend hours and hours and hours a day trying to teach people who are new to crypto of why this is such a powerful application and why they should begin their crypto journey with Voyager. So if anybody has any questions, I please, come up and ask. I also want to say thank you to everybody for sticking around. Everybody who is in the Saitama room that made it over here. It means a lot to us that you're here. And we had a lot of fun. That was awesome. But if anybody wants to ask any questions, please feel free to step up.
So we have Angie that came up to speak. And where'd she go? Go ahead, Angie.
I've been talking to a few of my friends about Voyager and getting in on etc. So I have a question about with the debit card and being able to use that. Is the money is our money insured? Is our insured when we invest in the US? Was the US option for that?
Is she breaking for anyone else, or is it just my connection?
Yeah, Angie, you're breaking up, but I think we caught the gist of it. So in regards to it being insured, it is insured. It's SPIC insured, which insures up to $500,000 on your digital assets and up to $250,000 in the USD. So it is insured, which is a huge safeguard to customers because obviously, if people are moving large lump sums of money over, there needs to be protected, and that's kind of where a centralized platform has a benefit over DeFi. Is if your money gets lost, hacked, or whatever, it's very highly unlikely that your money is going to be safeguarded. So if you're somebody who's like, okay, I have all this money sitting here. What he's saying resonates with me. You are protected in that instance.
Yeah, one other thing too on the security side, since they're a brokerage, right? They use a lot of different partners in terms of exchanges and custodians of the assets. So even if there was any kind of concern in terms of hacking, not only are a lot of funds not held directly at Voyager because they're with a custodian, a lot of them are offline. And when I like make a trade or I have to transfer anything, I have to go through a two-factor authentication, enter in a code, plus I have to go to an email and authorize the transaction. So there's lots of safeguards in place, and there's even just some general types of security measures they have in place if there's anything suspicious. But if you want to get ultra conservative, you can email customer support and ask them to remove withdrawal capabilities of your account, unless you like call them or contact them and ask them to re-enable. So you can get ultra secure and say, hey, no withdrawals from my account ever. Just wanted to throw that out there as an option.
100%. And that's the thing, guys, is like when we talk about mass adoption and all these different things that we've brought up here tonight in the Saitama space and now here, when Voyager comes out with this debit card, it really is going to change the game. There is no place. I want you to think about this. You're going to get paid up to 3% cash back on your purchases, right? So say that I have a bill or a bunch of bills that I'm waiting to pay on the 30th of the month. Because you're being paid based on the monthly average and not the end amount in your account, that means you are going to get a higher yield off of your money just for that one feature. And then when you do spend it, you're getting up to 3% cash back. Now imagine if you're a business owner, spending money on your whatever cost of goods, cost of goods sold. Imagine how much money you can make in a year's time. If you don't have a card that's as powerful as Voyager's is going to be, then you're just wasting money. You're literally wasting an opportunity. I can't begin to tell you how excited I truly am about this portion of the VLP. And that's just one aspect of many aspects that you can utilize within the platform that will get you money back. But I want to invite anybody else up here who has any questions.
Yeah, we have Sam that just came up. Go ahead, Sam.
Guys, I want to thank you so much for hosting this. I've been using Voyager for over 8 months now. I just have 2 questions. Is there a reason why there is no like a web-based application? And also, I have families who live in New York. I've sent them requests, and the account never get approved. Is there a reason why? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Sam. So in terms of New York, there's a wait list right now because New York State hasn't approved the BIT license for the broker dealership. So Voyager's put on all the paperwork that they need to in order to operate in New York. They're just literally waiting for New York State to say it's legal for them to do so. So if you are in New York, you can buy on Coinbase and do the staking option that we mentioned a little bit ago. But they won't be able to establish their full account until they get that BIT license from New York State. And what was the other question about? Oh, the trading platform. So there is going to be a desktop app that should be out imminently, like in the next few weeks, according to a recent interview comment that Steve made. They also have a partnership with Market Rebellion that's going to bring stock trading in the Market Rebellion-like experience to a dashboard. And we hope to see that in the first half of the year. Let's go to Homer. Hey, Homer. Okay, we will go to Matt. If Homer doesn't take the mic.
And Obi, can you make me a co-host just in case there are any trolls in here that are well known?
You got it. So did we have Homer come up or James? I don't see them. Looks like we have another requester here. James.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, James.
Hey, so for all the talk and all the research I just did this last weekend after talking to Big T, I keep getting rejected trying to put money into Voyager. I found out that we actually had it. We had put some assets in there probably early last year or something of that nature, and then now I'm trying to actually buy the VGX token and just keep getting rejected. Any ideas?
You have USD funded on the account?
No, I'm trying to put USD on the account.
Oh, okay. And you've connected your bank account to the Voyager platform?
Yeah, it says it's connected, and then we try to disconnect it and reconnect it, and it says it's already connected. We keep trying to put in, some money, and it says every 4 or 5 times it's been rejected. So, can I not use my debit card? Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah, it's connected through the ACH system from your checking account to Voyager's bank, which is Metropolitan Commercial Bank, and that's connected through Plaid. So it's not a debit card load; it's actual bank transfer.
Yeah, do a debit card if I could, because bank transfer isn't working. So there's no other option, right?
No, but you can reach out to your bank and just make sure it's not them blocking it. There have been instances where certain banks block it as like a fraud preventative thing. So I would try reaching out to the bank to find out if it's on their end. Floki,
JT,
I think, has a tip on that.
Do you have USD when you go in the app? Do you see any USD cash in the balance or available?
No, they're all
okay. Yeah.
Could I ask if you've got any money onto the platform yet?
I've put money on the platform to buy some other tokens previously, but I haven't used it in so long, and now I'm just kind of after hearing stuff, I'm want to get on VGX, and it's not working. So
okay, so you put some on at one point, and now it's not working. Because I noticed when I tried to sign up some cousins of mine over the holiday break, they had to make sure that they toggled that they fully released all of the account number and routing number to Voyager from their bank through Plaid. It's not always intuitive. They just kind of rushed through it and tried to just check, but they had to check a box. I believe it was Wells Fargo that made sure that it actually released the information of your account to Voyager to get it all connected. That's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and they did just have a recent update too. So I would actually check with your bank first. And then if it doesn't work for some reason, you can reach out to me directly and I'll send that straight to the CEO. But I will say this. I did have that same issue that you're having right now, JT, and I'm with Bank of America. So that's something that did happen to me as well. Just want to put that out there.
How'd you get around it?
I filled out a help ticket and they just got it done. What was missing was, and I don't want to dox myself, so I can't go into this too much, but they needed alternative information in order for me to link my account, and they fixed it within 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'll contact my bank, and if not, does Voyager have support though itself, or do I just this?
They do. They have a automated system. It's called the ValBot. So essentially, you'll tell her your issue, and then it'll generate a ticket, and then you can provide me with that ticket, and we'll get that squared away.
It's under the help menu in your account settings. It's in the lower right-hand corner of the help menu. It's a little question mark chat button.
Gotcha. I was just into the actual person aspect. But yeah, I mean, that's good to know. And if I need that ticket to be able to go further, I'll get it. But I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, the bot helps you kind of fill out the ticket to get it to the right department.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
If anybody else has any questions, feel free to step up. We're willing to field any questions. Anybody has questions, concerns, thoughts, feel free to come up here. So just for conversation's sake, what are you most excited about on the platform? Floki, Lucky, Obi?
We got Baroness coming up. Let's see what she wants to add here. Then we'll go to Messi and Stardust.
Baroness is going to say buy Safe Moon. I'm betting.
Buy Safe Moon. I would just quick question for some people when you're touching bases of being able to stake on the actual website itself. Because it is Ethereum, you do have gas fees for staking, but can you go over the productivity, like risk versus reward, on being able to do that while you're in waiting?
Yeah, it's just finding an opportunity where Ethereum gas is reasonable. I know it cost about. I just recently did a staking on something and it cost me about $20. So if you kind of factor that in, if you're, if you take 7% and you divide it by 12, you'll get a percentage, and you multiply that by the quantity you have. If that gets you over what your gas prices would be, go ahead and stake it. But if you're not quite at that point yet, you may not want to do the staking because it may be cost prohibitive with the Ethereum fee. Just something to consider.
I was trying to factor in, not too technical, but in general, like I had a question for somebody that they only had 100 VGX, and for staking 100 VGX, I estimated that would be roughly like a little over 3 VGX at this time for the staking cost fee. But in the rewards of getting that back, they would probably be able to get that back within 4 months holding.
For the fee, yeah, potentially. Yeah, it would take 3 months to more than break even.
So in that evaluation, for anyone that's listening, in consideration for even if you only have 100 VGX to get started, depending on where you are at in the world, it would probably behoove of them to go ahead and stake it, because I mean, like Canada, the debit card's going to be rolling out soon, so I mean, it'd probably be best just to wait, because they have another, it'd be another gas fee to get it off, I would presume. But as far as others like in France or Europe, Germany, India, that, doing that would probably be a godsend.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's also, touching base on, that's not saying that the token price doesn't explode between now and then. You have to take into account that as well.
True. Yeah, if the price triples, it probably is not too big a deal.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, that could honestly happen with any kind of news with the debit card or anything else. I mean, we've seen it go up $2 in a matter of like literally minutes.
Yeah, one thing is for sure, if you're looking at VGX, and it typically trades just a couple $1 million a day. It's not very much activity because nobody wants to part with it. So when it gets 30 to 50 million in trade volume, the price just skyrockets. And I can't wait for that debit card to start getting in people's hands and seeing that trade volume hit 100 million plus. That's going to be something to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And that's what I mean by, you have the opportunity to front run people for this, but when you look at what we just said, I mean, the reality is there's only a couple $1 million in trade volume. Right now we're under $1 million in trade volume. So if somebody sells a little bit, the price tanks. When somebody buys a little bit, the price shoots up. I mean, we're at a really critical threshold right now, guys, to where it doesn't take much to move the needle. And it's funny, I can say on at least 5 different occasions this year, I've seen it jump $1, $2, $3 in a matter of minutes. So the reality is that there's not much supply left. That supply squeeze is happening. As more people get into Voyager, they download the app and they figure out, okay, this is how the VGX token works. This is how it operates. More and more people are going to become a part of the loyalty program, and that equates to what Obi was talking about earlier, is a 15% month-over-month growth, and that's what we're looking at right now. So that's only going to be amplified as time goes on, and I'm super, super excited for that debit card. I really can't wait. Oh man, bro, imagine, I mean, somebody small like me, I don't have as much money as most people in here, but imagine getting $500 to $600 in passive income back for literally doing nothing and talking about shit that you love all day long. I mean, that's such a blessing. Not everybody has that opportunity, right? Not everybody's blessed to have a whole bunch of money. Like when we talk about who does this affect, who would this benefit? Everybody, because it doesn't matter if you have $100,000, $1,000,000, or if you have $10 barely scraping by. I mean, to become successful, it takes some level of sacrifice. And Voyager really benefits everybody. It's not just the select few. And that speaks to crypto overall. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. Sorry for taking up the mic. I'm so happy. It's great.
It's all right. Well, let's get to Star Boss's question, and then we'll go to Adapa. I'm assuming it's Stardust Detroit, Star Boss.
Hi, thanks for having me up. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes. Hi, thanks for having me. I missed the part of the first section, but I did jump in here, which I was glad to find. I am an adventurer. I bought
Let's
in.
go. That's awesome. Let's
Thank
go.
you. Thank you. I came in October 31st, and I've been doing my DD. I've been reading. I've been watching, and I have to say the app is super easy to use. I'm not, I'm, kind of new into this market, and that just checking things out. But I liked the D&D that I checked out way back in fall, and I am excited to hear some of the stuff that I missed in the first session. In here, I am waiting currently to get my debit card. So I want to kind of expand and leverage up to that second tier as soon as I can get there, which is probably going to be real like quick, like in the next couple of days. But I'm interested to hear more about like what's coming in the future. And I don't know some of these folks in the space. I'm getting to know you folks here, just listening. I followed you tonight. Hopefully you're going to be holding more spaces for people to get the word out and get some referrals going out there. So I really am excited. I'm not a gamer or anything, but I really appreciate how this is going to scale and leverage out, and the security that it brings to somebody who might not be feeling so safe about crypto and getting into the whole virtual scene, because a lot of people are like, yeah, no, I'll stick over here with traditional banking. I'm like, you have to understand, crypto and NFTs and things like that are the next step into the future, and making things happen for the people, with the people, and having the people's voice be involved. So I really appreciate the community focus behind what is happening here with the company. And I just wanted to put that shout out there. I may be shilling a little bit, but that's okay. I'm trying to, let people know it's a good product, and just do your DD, talk to as many people, try to like keep growing the community, maybe connect with some people who are sitting in this space right now, because obviously they're interested, and that's the appeal, and that's how to bring the community in together, and just keep having spaces and bring your friends in, share the word with your family, your friends, take the time to help them understand that step from physical money to virtual, the virtual platform. And eventually they'll come around and they'll understand the phenomenal opportunity for generational wealth sitting right here in this room. So don't wait, get yourself in the market soon.
Thank you so much for stepping up here. I want to extend an invite to you. It's funny because Floki's here. It's actually perfect timing. Floki, you want to go ahead?
I cut that last part. I couldn't hear it. What was that?
I said I think we need to make Star a VGX hero.
Oh yeah, you're more than welcome, especially after a speech like that. I'm sorry if there's a little background noise. I'm also cooking some dinner here. Yeah, if you see anybody with the purple or the VGX symbol, don't hesitate to reach out. We're more than happy to have some fun and answer some questions, and we have a pretty cool community going here. I feel bad because I'm cooking. If there's someone else that wants to pick up the speech here, I see Aragorn is in the house as well. We co-founded the community together. So Aragorn, if you're around to speak to our community, or I see Wonder Woman and Airborne, really anybody, more than happy
I
to.
Yeah, I will call out that I posted up at the top the VGX Heroes Twitter, and on that it gives you the steps to how to become your own pick your own hero, and come join our Discord and learn even more on your journey, and you have some fun with us. We do meetups in real life, and it's more than just investment talk all the time. So come join us; it's lots of fun.
Yeah, and then one thing I also wanted to add to that, guys, as far as a benefit is, we talk about all projects. We're not VGX maximalists. We're not just Voyager, platform users. We're into crypto, and you can ask us any questions. We have an unparalleled depth of knowledge, as far as the crypto space goes. So if you're somebody who's new into the space, trying to find your way, we don't turn away anybody. We welcome everybody. Most of our chats are general discussions. You won't really ever see a VGX or Voyager tag. It'll usually be, passive income, come learn about whatever. And we tie it that way. So it's really important to understand, the power of community, and the bright minds behind the VGX heroes. I mean, there's some very successful people in real life who are willing to take their time to help, benefit you as an individual. And I stand behind these heroes 100%. They're just great, phenomenal human beings. So I just wanted to say that. What's up, Aragorn?
Hey, yo. But also I saw Matt raise his hand, so I don't want to jump in front of him.
Dude, I just wanted to jump in and say real quick, this is awesome. I'm a gamer. I've been into crypto for years now, and I've just been scrolling through this metaverse stuff, Web3 stuff to find something like this. And I don't know anything about it, but I love gaming and I love crypto, and I'm really here to learn as much as I can about it. As someone, this is the first space I've ever heard about it. I'd love to ask questions for people who are probably in the same boat as me. I'd love to share this space on my Twitter, and it looks like there's a lot of people in here. I mean, I can only imagine if we all just did like a mass share and just just get this going, because this is really fascinating. And so I'm interested to hear what you'll have to say, and I applaud you on your work.
Yeah, if you like what you hear, go ahead and follow. The top two rows here are the people that have the speaker permissions. Are in Twitter Spaces often. We have a community AMA, a weekly AMA, that we have questions and we get together. And then Big T over here, the co-host, he's almost every single day opening up the space. So if you follow and you see us and you want to tweet out the session and ask questions and come hang, we're down for it.
I wanted to throw this out there too. Our network is massive. I mean, we have multiple YouTubers, whether it's Crypto Airborne, DJ Crypto. I mean, there's so many people. The Investing Guy. There's just so many outlets that we have within our community that just give you great information. They teach you all different things from charting to mining to, I mean, the depths of crypto, the knowledge that we have in our community, guys, I truly mean this. It's unparalleled. So if you're interested in joining the community, it's not a cult. It's not like, you literally just be yourself. And that's one thing I've learned to appreciate about the VGX Heroes more than anything, is that I can just be myself and I'm accepted for who I am. Like, if you're new to the space, don't hesitate to join us, guys. We have stuff for everybody. Hell, if you don't even like crypto and you're just like, man, these people are cool people, we have stuff for that too. So it's like, just take the time, step outside your comfort zone. We're here for people, guys. We're present. We're ambassadors of crypto, and ultimately, when we talk about mass adoption, or mass awareness, mass awareness. So you got it. When we talk about mass awareness, this is what it looks like, guys. We spend the time to teach and do everything we can for you guys. So, I extend that invite to every single person in here. And thank you guys so much for listening in. It means a lot. We have a really good group here, and I hope more people come up and ask questions. If you're not familiar with cryptocurrency, please get familiar with it. It will change your life. There's no doubt in my mind. You just have to find ways to utilize it in your everyday life and just get started.
Yeah, I just shared this space out via a tweet. I mean, I guess so. Like, just real quick, like your 30-second answer if someone were to ask you what is a VGX hero. Because I'm fascinated how my love for gaming and love for crypto could mash up.
I can
If
take it.
anybody else loving this space, feel free to share. This is my first time ever being in here. It's super cool. Thanks for having me up.
Yeah. So in short, Floki, me, and Maximus founded Heroes this June, July, something like that. Basically, when the crypto market was in the tank, and we actually weren't heroes then. We were just people, right, on Twitter. But then we realized sentiment was crap, and so we were like, how do we change sentiment? And so we were like, well, maybe we can just post daily buys. And then we, as we started gaining traction with that, part of it was like, well, we may want to remain anonymous as we do that, and also just kind of be fun characters. And so that's where we got the idea for VGX Heroes. VGX because that's the cryptocurrency related to the Voyager platform. And then we settled on Heroes because that was a fun way to still be anonymous, but it was also much more unique than being, for example, like an army, like some of the meme coins have called themselves. And not to knock on those communities at all, but army gives a sense of maybe a mindless addition or a mindless number, and you aren't necessarily unique, whereas a hero can stand for something much more. And so when each person joins the community, it's largely symbolic right now. It's just pick something that you like. And it can literally be just as simple as that. No duplicates. We do keep a master list. And so that way I am the only Lord Aragorn out there. But you could literally even make up a hero if you wanted, or you can be a villain. We don't care. We had a guy be the milkman one time. It's like, and yeah, that's kind of currently
so cool.
what we have. And the Discord, which is linked above, it's also very much social as well. It's not just investing, like what Big T was sharing earlier. We have a cooks and cocktails channel, for crying out loud. Like, so we're wanting the Discord and just the Heroes to be a safe place for people to learn, hear about crypto for the first time. And then my favorite part is the educational AMAs that we try to have on Wednesdays, because what we want is a tangible takeaway for people that enter our space. So what I mean by that is we're also building out a curriculum of sorts to where you can download this PDF and it walks you through crypto starter steps that you can pass on to your friends and family, because you may be passionate about the space, but you don't have the first idea what to walk them through and all that. And me and the education team are working on building that out, so that it should be a free resource to just pass on to other people that you're passionate about sharing with them. So that's my little spiel. So there you go. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get involved, so I'll join the Discord tonight and take a look at becoming a hero. I think that's a great idea. Spin off like something like Army or something, because you hear about like Overwatch is one of my favorite video games, and they call all their characters heroes, and it adds like a fun aspect to it where you are unique. And so you've got me, man. I'm a big gamer. Love crypto, so
it's exciting stuff.
Heck yeah.
Happy to have you up here, man. Check out my profile. I have my character list, or the character list, as well as links to the Discord. And I'm a game designer myself, so like this is all about that kind of gaming mindset, giving everybody that unique individual identity, right? Because I don't remember people by their names anymore. I just remember them by their heroes. We've met in real life. We've traveled across the country to hang out. We've gone to NASCAR events, Vegas, also just local kickbacks to have food and drink. What we have here is pretty special. Yeah, it's a lot of fun too.
We really do care
incredible,
about
man.
each other, guys. Like that's the bottom line. It really is a fantastic group. And like I said, the amount of knowledge that these people give up on a daily basis just to better other individuals, like that's our number one rule of thumb. Like if you enjoy hanging out with us and doing things, bring more people into the circle. That's the only thing that we ask. We don't ask for money, donation, none of that. We don't want none of that. The only thing we want is your time, and just utilize our time to your advantage. That's all we ask for.
And getting rich alone is boring. Am I right? So much better.
Well, I've seen Adapa's had his hand raised for a while, so
Yeah, it's like that life is better shared, like the whole point of the movie Into the Wild, right? If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Anyways, Adapa, go ahead.
Hey guys, Big T, thank you for hitting me at another 50 followers or something.
Oh, you're welcome, brother. You deserve it. Welcome to the family.
That was funny. So a couple questions. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of custody in crypto? And this is the first time I heard about the insurance tonight. Does that kind of eliminate the real need for having your own custody?
I mean, it safeguards it. I think that, custody is very personal thing. A lot of people get into crypto for a lot of different reasons. So at the end of the day, I think that it's important to, if you view that aspect of crypto as important to you, stick with your gut. It doesn't really safeguard you against the fact that if you do something, stupid on your part, that they're going to pay for your crypto. That's just protecting you in the case that they get hacked and your wallet get exposed and your crypto's gone. So I think it's really important to distinguish the two, and then go from there.
Okay, that's cool. And then I still am having trouble figuring out what gives value to the VGX coin. Is it somehow connected to the number of accounts on Voyager as it grows? Is it connected to dollars invested overall? Like what's the key metric to look at, and how is it tied together?
Well, just like any value any network that has value, it comes down to human capital and time and money invested in it. So funded accounts is really the big metric in terms of trying to track the growth and health of the community. But the token itself accrues value just like any other token that's traded on a market, right? It's the latest price in an order book that it sells for, what people are willing to pay for it. That gets averaged out, across the different exchanges, and then that becomes the spot price, right? The difference between what the sellers are willing to let it go for and what the buyers are willing to pay to acquire it. So, that's always a moving target. But the value accrual in terms of like what makes it scarce is the loyalty programs themselves. It doesn't have a lockup or unbonding period, much like a lot of coins do. The value in lockup and taking supply off the market comes through achieving those loyalty tiers, because once you hit those tiers, you're unlikely to give up the rewards once you've experienced the passive income capabilities.
That's a pretty good explanation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and to just touch base on that a little bit further in regards to what makes the token valuable, it's just the limited supply aspect that there's only 280 million tokens with a network that's growing exponentially. So yes, it is directly tied to downloads, because as more people come on the platform, even if a portion of those people utilize the VLP, then obviously there's huge value within that. But the real value is derived from the products that they offer within its own ecosystem. That's all powered by VGX. So whether that's the the debit card, obviously you have to have the 500 tokens to start gaining crypto back rewards for your spending, or whether that's when the stocks come on the platform and they do some kind of interest payment on your equities, or whatever it is, whether it's the referral bonuses. I mean, there's so many things that give value to the token. That is the value proposition of it. It's that every aspect of Voyager and everything that they're trying to accomplish is powered or integrated within the VGX token. Sorry,
the
VGX
biggest
token.
The biggest you said there is the total number of coins. What did you say? 200 and something million?
It's 282 million.
Yeah, that's tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then not only that, right now, because Voyager's a publicly traded company, we know that there's 244 million of the 282 million staked. So there's only a floating supply.
They
Sorry, go
can't.
ahead.
And that's a fixed number.
No, it inflates at 7% for however many tokens are staked. Now, not all of the supply is staked, so the amount of new issuance is less than 7%. But it does increase, and it needs to, because it's a utility token. And as the amount of users come onto the platform and stake, we need more issuance, right? So as we're using our VGX rewards as passive income or to grow our position to level up tiers, eventually those get released back to new people coming on the platform as we sell them, right? So it allows more people to participate in the program.
And the key
So is there
aspect
an
of that,
underlying game as well?
Game, like a video game? No, this is
Yes.
a brokerage platform. So it's a
And so you
utility
said Voyager is publicly traded. On what market is that? Like, is that on the NASDAQ?
Not yet. They're going to uplist hopefully soon. They're on the OTC markets as VYGVF, and they're on the Toronto Stock Exchange as VOYG.
That's so cool.
Just before we get off that, real quick, the inflation rate. Do you happen to know what that is?
It's 7%.
Oh, it's exactly 7%.
It's exactly 7% annual. So
so it exactly matches the rewards. But what about new when you have new people coming on, they're buying the tokens from what is in the circulation?
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's only the people that hold the token on the platform. So if you have 100 tokens on the platform, Voyager gives you staking rewards. Or if you use a MetaMask to go through the website and stake, you get rewards, regardless of how much you have. So those are the two ways that you can get the 7% staking.
Or like for me, who kind of joined recently, right? I bought out of the supply, and I'm going to hold at a level now because I want the rewards. So just think about me as a new consumer. As they're going to new markets, people are going to want to get to certain levels to hold to get rewards, and that's what's really enticing around this, is because of that.
well, and from a tokenomics standpoint too, that's something we outlined just prior. You know, we're going 10-to-1 on the issuance of new tokens into supply from the staking on the buy side. So I mean, we're eating that up tremendously. So whatever inflation is there is getting gobbled up at a 10-to-1 rate.
Yeah, so there's there's roughly 1 million tokens that get minted a month, and there's roughly 10 million that get acquired. So it's not a problem at all.
Yeah, that's a good inflation rate. Well, thanks y'all. I got to go back to eating dinner, but I'm gonna check out.
Sure. And we're going to go to Beefy here because he's got his hand up for a while, and then we'll go to D-Baby.
Hey, Obi, one of the folks down below was asking me about the Voyager Earn program, and I just thought it might be a lot simpler if you could go into detail on it and explain how all the different tokens or coins, how that each one has a different set rate and so forth. Thank you. I'll listen.
Sure. So if you go to investvoyager.com, or if you have the app and you go to your settings, they'll have a rewards section that's dedicated to showing you the current rates. And they vary.
Just a little FYI, guys, I might have to end the stream in a little bit, all right? But if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll try to answer them for you guys.
Something like that. Pension token or the BAT, all the way up to 12%, like Polkadot earns a 12% rate. So it just really varies based on the asset that you're interested in acquiring. So the Voyager token itself is a 7% rate, and the US dollar coins that you use for the debit card is a 9% base rate. And then if you are a VLP or Voyager Loyalty Program member, so you either hold 500 tokens for the Adventurer tier, 5,000 for Explorer, 20,000 for Navigator, you get boosters paid out in VGX token on top of that every single month. So for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC, you can earn up to an additional 1.5% based on your membership tier. Did that address what the question was? So if you're on the website, it's investvoyager.com, rewards.investvoyager.com/interest. And that gives you the list of all the tokens. D-Baby, you want to go ahead and ask your question?
What's up? How you guys doing, man?
Hey,
Good, how are
brother.
you?
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, quick question, man. Y'all probably won't believe me, like, cause I don't know. I'm not saying this. Well, anyways, I've been in the crypto space for a year. Yeah, I know y'all probably been in the crypto space longer, and so I'm sure y'all smarter, but I'm smart enough not to make that mistake though. As far as like Voyager, like I bought some Ethereum and sent it out. Is it possible on the Voyager app they could send it to the wrong address? Because what happened was I sent about like 400 worth of Ethereum out of Voyager to my MetaMask, but it went to a different wallet. And without me copying the address again, I pasted the same one that I copied previously and sent a lower amount, and it went through my MetaMask. So that's how I know I didn't make that mistake. Is it possible like Voyager can make that mistake, send it to the wrong wallet through the blockchain?
No, so when you're sending assets to or from it, it asks you to confirm the wallet address
Yeah.
and the asset you're sending. And then when you do your PIN and it sends you the confirmation email, you got to double check the address and make sure it's right. So if you did all that and it's sent to the right address on the right chain, you should be able to verify the transaction, and it'll be in your app underneath the view orders and transfers section. And you'll see, so in there you're going to see on the second tab, which is the transfers tab, you'll be able to see the transfers in and out, and you click on it and you can actually get the hash if you want to go check it on an Etherscan, for example.
Yeah, I did all that. I went to the I went through the transfer in Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the what you just said, the hashtag, whatever. I clicked that. It took me to the Etherscan, and when I was looking through the transaction, it showed that Voyager sent my first transfer to another wallet. So I went back, did a smaller amount, and transferred the same address I copied previously, sent a small amount, and it hit my wallet. But I'm trying to see why like the first one didn't hit my wallet, like on a bigger transaction. Like it was kind of strange because I didn't copy another address. I used the same one that I copied the first time I transferred out of Voyager. So I'm kind of confused. Is it possible for exchange to like send it to the wrong blockchain? I mean the wrong address? Is that even possible? I don't know if y'all understand what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to explain it.
No, you did a really good job.
Yeah, I would say if you got the hash on Etherscan, it'll show where they sent it in terms of an address, but they're only going to send it to whatever you put in and confirm.
Man, I swear to you, man, like I promise you, like that first address I copied when I did the second transaction, the second transfer, it hit my wallet. I didn't copy the address again. I pasted in the same one, and I looked at both of the hashtag, both of the transaction on Etherscan. The first one is different from the second one. So it's like the first one shows a whole different address they sent it to, and that same address I copied, which is my wallet, on the second transfer, it hit my wallet. Like I didn't go back and recopy the address like what I was trying to send it to in the first place. Like if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, so I would go to your email that they've sent to confirm the transaction and look at the address there. And then I would send that to support@investvoyager.com. And then they should open up a ticket to check it out for you.
Y'all probably think I'm sounding crazy right now, but
if you only knew, dude, we hear so much each week. No, this is by no means the craziest thing we've heard.
No, we're just trying to help you out and making sure, but if you got the hash and you got the email and the email had the right address and you put in the right address and the Etherscan verifies it wasn't sent to the right address, customer service should be able to help you out, but you're going to have to open a ticket or contact them.
Yeah, I opened the ticket. Like, far as the ticket, like, how long does Voyager get back on the ticket? Does it?
Generally within a week, I'd say that would be a pretty good, time frame. But if it goes outside of that, reach out to me with the ticket number, and I can pass it along, or any of the other VGX heroes, just pass it along to them, and we'll help you get it figured out.
Have y'all experienced to where like y'all had to put in multiple tickets, or y'all put one in and y'all like good to go as far as the Voyager?
Yeah, just one ticket. As long as you have the confirmation that the ticket was filed, you should be fine. They went from like 30 employees to 270. So they're still growing their employee base. So they're trying to scale as fast as their customer base. But as you can imagine, it's not easy to do. But they are making improvements, and they're trying to actually even get a telephone support number. It's something they've advertised potentially bringing to the platform in the near future. So
okay,
it'll get even better.
I believe it or not, I had somebody. I actually heard this from somebody else that got into the Voyager app, and they sent something out, and it went to another address. I don't know, man. I've been in the for a year. I know I won't make that mistake. Like I said, I cut that same address I copied. I did that same address on the second transfer, and it went through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know. I guess I'll wait a week, and if you said Big T, you said I can send you a screenshot of my my.
Yeah, if they don't get back to you within a week, just let me know. Just send me a copy or a screenshot of the ticket number, and I'll help you out.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, I actually enjoyed y'all though in the other space with Russ. I hope we bring more people to the Voyager token.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Nice to see you.
Absolutely.
Hey, not to cut Brad off here too, but I wanted to say to you, like, I know that a couple months back, at least what they would say is like, file your ticket, and if you don't hear back from that in 48 to 72 hours, then send an email too that's following up on it.
Okay, cool. I'll do that as well. Thank you.
Yeah, hope it works out for you.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Brad.
So I was curious with the new relationship that Voyager made, and they're going to allow us to do our taxes with this group for this year at no cost. Do you know if that is going to negate the CRV, or are they still going to be able to provide that to us?
Oh yeah, you'll still be able to get the CSV files.
CSV?
Yeah, comma separated values.
Okay.
Yeah.
CSV. Okay.
Yeah, so when you file the ticket, you can actually request the CSV in different software formats as well. So I've done that.
You don't think that they're going to go away from that with this new relationship?
No, because the relationship is actually going to be more, think of an API integration. So you log in with your Voyager credentials and you get the license, and then sometime I think in February that should be the free license, and the integration should be there. Up until then, it's still CSVs, and then anybody that's not going to use CoinLedger, you can still get a CSV from customer support.
Yeah, and the other thing that I found interesting is last year they provided interest on 1231, so it was applicable for 20 taxes. This year they did it on January 1st, which technically it would not be applicable until 2022.
I don't remember that last year, but yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you're going to stay on the platform, right? So I guess every year it's going to be like that going forward.
Yeah, it just kind of took me for a loop because it was my understanding they were going to shoot for the 1231 like they did last year, and they didn't. So kind of just threw me off.
Gotcha.
So real quick, I wanted to touch on this for anybody else who is paying attention to what Brad and Obi were talking about. So this year, for tax season, Voyager partnered with CoinLedger, and essentially, if you're a funded account or somebody who utilizes the Voyager platform, you will be able to utilize that system for free this year to generate your taxes for the 2021 tax season. So if you're somebody who uses Coinbase, Crypto.com, or like a centralized platform, you'll actually be able to transfer your documents over to the Voyager app or just upload it. I'm sure there'll be more information in regards to it. And they'll actually generate a tax statement for you to provide to your tax professional. So that's another huge benefit right now to downloading the application. So if anybody is interested in doing that, I would highly recommend doing it.
And if anyone's not familiar with the Coin Ledger name, it's a new rebranding of CryptoTrader.tax. So we had JB have his hand up there for a question.
Well, hey guys, how's it going? Just want to say thank you for all that information that I kind of had the whatever I could get in on hearing. I got to hear, and it was very exciting in that other space that we were in. I just had a quick question about the customer care side of things in Voyager. I don't know if that's something I can ask here.
Yeah, I mean, all we know is what public comments have been made by the team, but
Yeah.
we can tell you what we've heard.
So I tried to sell some stuff to get in on Saitama or however it goes, and I tried to send money to my bank. It took like 15 days, and then it canceled. Then I tried it again, and then I had gotten a message from Voyager saying that they were working on cutting those times down. And I said, oh, well, maybe I'll cancel it for now. I'll put it into something else, and I'll just wait. Then I had the bright idea to just buy Ethereum and try to send it to my wallet. When I tried to send crypto out of Voyager, it gave some kind of error that said my account is not enabled for withdrawals. So I went ahead and I opened up customer care ticket or whatever it is, and I replied to a bunch of email. It says to reply with any information. So tried to with screenshots and follow up or however it went. I haven't heard back from anyone. And it's been about a week. So I just heard you guys say something about a week, and I didn't know if I was still within that time frame or.
So when you made the deposit, has your funds cleared? Because I know the funds have to clear before they're transferable.
This was money that was, I had just some money in SHIB, and I sold it, and I was able to move it around or buy something else. Or, I can do whatever I want with it, but for some reason I'm still unable to withdraw crypto from Voyager. I guess that's my only problem.
Yeah, so when you sell something or...
All right, guys, give me a second. I think that's going to be the end. I don't think there's... I think it's more like questions and stuff.
Up to $10,000 limit of trading while they wait for the funds to settle.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to go thank Big TCO on Big Tico on Twitter. Tell him thanks for doing this. Yeah. Hope you guys have a good night.